fucking mind wouldn't want her.
Well, the only thing I told
let alone anything.
Only thing I told Walker. Okay.
Live streaming, so you might want to take that off speaker and just explain to her why.
You don't talk to somebody. Oh, shit. Even if that wasn't Maria's name, you don't talk
Hello.
to somebody's name. Because if that was my...
Just tell her I'm live streaming, so you had to take it off. That's all.
No, she said. Yeah, I'm glad you did tell me. And I told Walker. Walker told me he don't want a fat ass. Exactly what he told me. And the only thing I told Walker, if we was dating, we was boyfriend and girlfriend, she wouldn't have done that. Because you know I would have got out. She said, yeah, I know you would have got out. You would have said something. He knows me. He knows me. I said, you lucky we ain't boyfriend and girlfriend. Because I would have said something. No. Yeah. I did. I left her ass alone. I told you that. I left her alone. Like, nope. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Oh, there you are. Okay. I just sent you a text, sweetie, because I wasn't sure, like how quick you'd be able to pop on or whatever. But if you've already seen the title, then you know I'm going down to Kentucky for a week. And I also wanted to, keep you updated and in the loop of the most recent bombshell that was dropped on my head like 15 minutes ago. That in addition to, okay, you're this close, your passport's on its way, but, we don't know if you're still going to be able to come or not, and I understand, like I said, either way, but, and yes, it is exciting, I'm going to stay down there for a whole week because as the weather continues to get colder, I'm going to be less likely, to want to go down there much because, one, it's going to fuck with my arthritis, like major. Two, I don't think I would want to be away from the cats. I mean, a week is a long time. But three, I've never had a vacation in my life.
She's on live stream.
Yeah, I'm live streaming.
That's what she was asking who you were talking to.
Yeah, I was tell her I'm talking to Brooke, my daughter.
Talking to her
daughter-in-law, Brooke.
Daughter.
Yeah. We got a friend on the phone that Maria was talking to. Her name's Maya. And as soon as I went live, I asked her to go ahead and take it off speaker because she had her on speakerphone. And, because there's certain things, you don't want to be said during a live stream. If I don't make it up this month, it will be in January and the flights are cheaper. Okay, we'll see. There you go. I mean, that makes sense. Okay. Now for the bombshell. I just got a text from Jim who, as you know, is kind of like my dad. You know, you met him Thanksgiving. You got to see him and stuff. Him and Mom got evicted. They have to be out by December 8th. And I think that's bullshit because whatever reason they have been evicted, by law, they are supposed to give them at least 30 days. At least 30 days to get moved out, which means they shouldn't have to be absolutely 100% moved out until, in my opinion, January 8th. Yeah. Yeah. So, don't know the details yet. This weekend is the last that I'm going to be here because Monday evening, Chelsea and Lisa are coming to get me, my family from Kentucky. They're going to take me down in their vehicle because there's a lot of appointments going on this week or next week that Chris needs the car. Yeah, so here, don't freak out yet, honey. Okay, let me tell you the rest, okay? In light of this,
I'll see you tomorrow.
okay, hon.
Love
you.
Okay?
All right, I love you. Tell Maya I love her too. I'm sorry I couldn't talk a lot.
I will.
Oh, honey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm cussing too. To be honest, I'm surprised that YouTube hasn't yanked some of my videos off because I've been cussing so much. I try not to, but sometimes you got to get it out, and cussing gives the, the oomph that you're trying to verbally express, because the more oomph you get out, the more, like you want to scream, the more stress relief it is. Okay. So Carl, my dumbass brother, is currently on his way down to Kentucky right now. Okay. He's only going to be down there for 2 days, meaning he's probably going to be back sometime Sunday afternoon. So the struggle now is, how are we going to keep him from finding out not only that they have to be out by the 8th, but here's the silver lining, okay, of the storm cloud that's been thrown on our heads. They have a place to go. Their pastor, bless him, times 3 and then 100 more. Toby has a place for them to go. No, he does not know, and we do not want him to know. So you might not want to even mention this to Michael, honey, okay? Because it would be far too risky that Michael would end up blurting it to Carl, and then that's just going to cause more problems. So yes, they have a place to go. It's a place that, so far, my understanding, unless they tell me differently tomorrow when we go over to start helping them pack and see how much stuff we can get moved to the new place, and get this, they're going to be living closer to us, okay? The address I will give you, but again, don't say anything to Michael right now. There's enough on our plate, your plate, his plate, especially if they do close down the prison because of the COVID shit, okay? So let's keep things as unstressful as we possibly can by keeping it between you and me. And of course, if Holly pops on, that's fine. She'll understand. She won't say nothing. The address that they're going to be moving to is 193 Maplewood. Now, I don't know if it's North or South Maplewood yet. I won't know until we get over there. Yeah, they're going to be closer to us because the Kroger is 5 minutes that way? I mean, it's not it doesn't take any time at all to drive over to the Kroger. So the place that the street they're living on is behind the Kroger. Or actually, the Kroger's beside. It's Maplewood goes like this, Kroger's right here. So Maplewood, Kroger, okay? Because I'm only going to be here this weekend because, like I said, Monday night is when Chelsea and Lisa are coming to get me, and we're going to leave the car here with Chris because he's going to need it because there's a lot of appointments going on and stuff next week. So that's fine. One, I've been wanting to go down there for a long time and be able to stay a week anyway. Because 2, me and Chelsea have already in hushed tones discussed and agreed, yes, I would absolutely love to have you down here, Aunt Janet. So that's all I need to hear. This has nothing to do with Carl, but if we said that in front of Carl, he was like, well, I don't think she wants you to come down there. And he actually said this to me. I don't think she wants you to come down there except on the weekends because during the week she's dealing with the kids. So I just dropped it, okay? When I asked Chelsea herself, she's like, oh no, I would love it if you came down here for a week, because my goals are these. I'm going to be down there for a week. I will help with the house. I will help mind the kids. I will help watch the baby. And if there's something like with her business that she needs my help with, and it's something I can reasonably do, because I don't know like what skills and knowledge and stuff are required to run this kind of business that she has. All I can tell you is it has to do with vinyl. Now, you may say, what's vinyl? What do you mean by that? Okay, decals that you can put on shirts, decals that you can put on a vehicle. There's a lot of versatility that you can do with this vinyl business. A lot of the stuff is done through computer. Okay, so she has to have a certain amount of knowledge herself to be able to run it via the computer. Now, Chelsea doesn't really have any more knowledge of computers than I do. I don't know what her knowledge is, but I'll find out this week when I'm down there, just so I know what level she's at, and then I'll be able to tell if it's something that I'm at equally, so that I can maybe help her with stuff, that way. Okay, so you know what the vinyl is. Okay, I only said that because I wasn't sure if you knew what vinyl meant and working with it and stuff. Because this is new to me. Because when I think vinyl, the first thing I think is, what does this have to do with records? I'm talking the type of records and albums they used to call LPs that you could play on a record player, which those things are about as obsolete and antique as a lot of other stuff. You'd be lucky to find an actual record player. You know what I'm saying? So my first thought when I heard vinyl was, what does this have to do with records? But in the back of my mind, that went off. They explained it right away. They said it's considered a vinyl business because you can make designs on the computer, and then there's a certain thing that you do or whatever, and there's a machine they have there that's on all the time. You can't shut it down, because if you shut it down, it fucks shit up. Okay. But records are, what do we have nowadays? It's CDs, everything CDs and DVDs, LPs, 45s, the LPs, which to me, those were the ones that were more the size of a dinner plate, and you had to play them on the 33 speed, whereas the 45s, you had to play on a different speed, because if you played them on 33, it'd be really slow, so there's most records you're not going to be able to play on that speed. So the 45s were small. If you remember, the LPs were the bigger. The LPs you had to run on the 33 speed. The 45s, I don't even remember what speed. I guess 45. I don't know. But anyway, so part of what my goals will be, aside from what I'm saying, and I completely leave this up to her. I'm not going to pressure her one way or another, because Carl has already done that. Originally, Carl was going to give her $1,000, okay, because he got $4,000 of stock from the company he used to work for. He's already blown through almost all of that money, including spending $1,200 on a truck he didn't need. But he wanted it because he wanted to impress everybody down in the hills. He wanted to be the topic of discussion. He wanted to be the spotlight on him. Fucking narcissist, just like goddamn Naomi, okay? And I fucking hate it. So he was gonna give her $1,000, right? But when it came down to it, he only ended up giving her a little over $600, because he very quickly realized that money is going to be what he has to live on for a while, unless they finally decide. I'm sorry, I'm sweating, and it fucking itches like a motherfucker. Especially when it's in the creases of the legs. Oh my god, I hate it. Drives me nuts. He should have put to somewhere to live. Okay. Excuse me, I'll get to that in a minute. As far as where Carl has to go. Carl has already been invited by Chelsea and her husband. I'll say husband, even though they're not legally married or anything yet. But they're obviously together. I mean, look at me and Chris. We refer to each other as husband and wife. We're not legally married, okay? It's all up here and in here. In here and up here, to me, Justin is her husband. he by far is the best guy that she has been with. However, they do have their own issues and so on and so forth. What couple doesn't, right? So, but most times on their good days, they're very, very good together. They're very loving towards each other. He gives her pretty much anything she wants. He doesn't question it. If it's within his power to give it, he will. That money, instead of blowing it up the wall, he could have found somewhere in Kentucky. Now, let me get to that point, okay? They have already invited him to come and live there. Justin does have a certain amount of properties down there that he can very easily give Carl one of those properties to live in if Carl so chooses, okay? But Carl does not know, and this is the essence of importance of why Carl cannot know, that not only do they have to be out by December 8th, but the hard part is going to be how the hell we're going to get shit moved during the day without Carl being nosy and figuring out, okay, where the hell is he taking that shit? Well, he's taking it to storage, I would imagine, because they're trying to dwindle stuff down in case they get a place. Playing dumb, because I don't want the bullshit from Carl, okay? I agree totally with you. He should have spent the money smarter. However, Justin and Chelsea have already told him that he can live down there, meaning he will live in the same house with them. But I feel the better course of action would be, and this is part of what I will discuss with them, just to throw it out there. I'm not trying to control the situation one way or another. Whatever Justin and Chelsea decide to do is what they decide to do, and I'll support that. I'm just throwing options out there. Whatever they decide that's on them, okay? I won't be against anything they decide. As long as I know what they decide, then I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I hope it works out for you guys. Justin has a couple of trailers down there, one of which is on 5 acres of land. So now, I'm not really good about how much an acre is as opposed to 5, 10, 40, 50, 100, whatever. Show me what 1 acre size is, then I'd be able to determine more in my brain about what 5 could be, okay? But when I'm down there this week, I'll be like, I'm just curious. Could you tell me, could you show me, could we go down to the trailer where there's 5 acres that comes with it? I want to see what 5 acres looks like. Just kind of a curiosity thing, right? So in light of the fact that they have to be out on the 8th, which I think is completely wrong. I think, like I said, by law, the people, whoever has decided to evict them, has to give them 30 days, at least 30 days, okay? So that would mean that they should legally have until January 8th to get their shit moved completely, okay? A lot of their shit, because there's so much of it, and that house is so tiny, as you saw, because the entire time that I had it live streaming, the front room, you saw how tiny that place is, right? You saw me walking through the kitchen. You saw me putting the camera on Carl so he would be included, so I don't have to worry about hearing bitching and moaning about it later. Where he was sitting, beside him is their laundry room. They have a washer, they have a dryer, they have a microwave back there, they have a metal stand that has a bunch of shit on it. But again, the place is tiny, okay? So because of that, they have a storage unit that's just a few minutes away from where they live. Now that they're moving down on Maplewood, none of that has changed. They'll be a little further away from the storage unit, but not like it's an hour away. It would just be, as opposed to like 5 or 10 minutes from 202 to their storage, will now be 10 or 15 or whatever, provided the traffic is light or however, light or heavy. But they don't really need to get anything out of there. My focus is going to be this, because I'm only going to be here for 2 days. I'm leaving Monday night. Now, Monday during the day, if I can swing it, I will try my best. I will go over and help them a little bit there too, because mostly right now, I think, and this is what I will impose upon them and what I will impress on them tomorrow, focus on what's in the house. Mom, don't even think about the shit in storage. Focus on what's in the house. That's the stuff that you should most immediate get moved over there. Makes sense, right? But my mother's mind is failing. She's 90 years old. Sometimes you have to say something to her several times before she gets it. Okay? So I will suggest that to them and say, even if they're like, oh yeah, we've already figured that out. It's like, okay, I'm just trying to cover all the bases here. I'm trying to cause you guys the least amount of stress possible because this is a lot to swallow. Now, as you recall, I did a reading recently, because I believe I did one for you that same day, that said there was some kind of upcoming battle. Well, bam, here you go. What happened today is that battle. I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt because of what we're going to have to do to keep this from Carl, so he doesn't, one, try to follow them when they take a load over, two, suddenly volunteer himself to help them move just so he can see where it is. Okay. I think, and this is what I love about it, this is the positives here that only you and I and a handful of us will relate and say, yep, you're right. I think this is Carl's karma coming back to bite him in the ass. And he brought this on himself because out of that 4,000 that he had, he should have given some of that money to Mom and Jim, and he never did. He has been basically living there for free. He has been paying Naomi like $30 a month or some bullshit, and I don't know what she's raised it up to, and I really don't fucking care. But he has to pay her every month. Okay, so Toby does not want Carl over there at the new place. Toby does not want Carl to know about this. So my goal is going to be adding to the universal magic, help us keep this from Carl, because the hardest of all of this to keep from him is going to be every time we take a load over. Because how long are we going to be able to keep him from knowing what's really going on? Yes, he absolutely should, honey, but he does not, okay? Carl's attitude is the world owes him, okay? He's this great, wonderful guy. No, he's really not. He's really not. Can he charm the pants off of somebody? Yeah. But is he truly this wonderful, great guy that he plays himself out to be? No. He's really not. He should know, but I guarantee you the minute this blows wide open and he knows, if we can't keep it from him, because it's going to take, I don't see this happening in 5 days. Okay, there's going to be enough stress on everybody's shoulders. Me and Chris are going to go over there tomorrow and help them pack and help them move as much shit as we can. And then we will do that again Sunday. But Sunday afternoon, probably around 4 o'clock or so, Carl's fucking dumbass is going to be back. And that's when it's going to get tough. That's when it's going to be the trickiest, is how do we keep this from him? Okay? Because the minute he finds out, it's going to cause a problem. When I am going to be down there come Monday, I'm going to wait and I will discuss this with them on the way down, because it'll just be me, Lisa, and Chelsea. And I will ask them and explain to them why the importance is Carl cannot know any of this. Because if he does, if we can't keep it from him and he finds out, all hell's going to break loose. And he is going to make even more stress that nobody needs or wants. So the fact it's bad enough that the bombshell was dropped on us today, it's going to be far worse for Carl, because now he's going to be pressured, okay, to start getting his shit packed and start making plans with Justin of when he can start moving his shit down. And me personally, what I would really love to see, in all fairness, because of Carl and his inability or even any effort on his part whatsoever to help, to give them money when he had plenty to give. And he's thinking about him. He's just thinking about him. All of his stuff, if everything needs to be out by the 8th, isn't that going to be a stress for him too? Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? If he loses a bunch of his shit, that's not our problem. It's not our problem anymore. Carl burnt his bridges long ago. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, we will all still try our very hardest to keep this from him for as long as we possibly can. Because if we're talking December 8th is when they need to be out, today's already the 3rd. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means 4th is Saturday, the 5th is Sunday, the 6th is Monday, the 7th is Tuesday, the 8th is Wednesday. So they have to be out by Wednesday, okay? If we can at least keep this from Carl until then, okay? Then we will simply, one of us, and I hope to God I hope the responsibility doesn't fall on my shoulders to be the one to tell him this, because he will lash out at me. Sorry, bro, but nobody wanted you to know because 1, they don't want you to know where they're moving. Because 2, they don't want you ever showing up there. And 3, nobody needs the stress that you would add to this whole damn thing by throwing your little fucking pissy moany fit that, well, why didn't somebody fucking tell me? Because of your reaction. Because you are going to react in nothing but the most negative, cruel, heartless way possible for a human being to exude. Okay? He is not going to take this well. It's already causing a tremendous amount of stress on Mom and Jim and Stephanie as it is, because I'm pretty sure Jim's going to be insistent about Stephanie moving in with them in the new place. And so what do you think's going to happen there? Mom's going to piss and whine and moan and cry and bitch and gripe and blah, 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 because she don't want Stephanie moving with them. But Jim has already told Mom, Stephanie's not going anywhere. She's my granddaughter, and you are not going to throw her out on the street. Because if you throw her out on the street, I'm going with her. That is exactly what Jim would do. That is exactly what he would say. And to some, it may sound cruel. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I mean, Mom, at this point, she just needs to be thankful that they have a place to go. Okay? And that we are going to be over there tomorrow and Sunday and part of Monday, at least for me, busting our asses to try and get as much stuff moved as we possibly can. So I will have the discussion, in all fairness, with Chelsea and Lisa on the ride down there Monday. Okay? If we can at least keep it from Carl that long. The main day at this point of we want to keep this from him is Sunday, because he's going to be coming back probably Sunday in the afternoon sometime. Say if he leaves there at 12, if he leaves Kentucky at 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, he will be back here around 4 o'clock, weather permitting and traffic permitting. Because I don't know if Tina's going to be parking her car on our street so that she can ride down with Carl or what. If she does park her car on Mom's street, and, leaves it there until they come back in 2 days, and then she can just get in her car and go home, whatever, that's on them. Yes, again, I agree. And most likely, come Sunday, we're going to have to tell him. But I don't want to be on the line of fire when they do tell him, because I know the first person that he's going to lash out most likely is going to be them, but especially he'll come at me even harder because I knew and I didn't tell him. So come Sunday, if things happened where they're like, you know what, let's just tell Carl and just be done with it and just let him know, do not follow us as we're moving our shit. Because Toby has already put his foot down and said, you are not invited, Carl. You are not to know where they live, because they don't want you going over there and causing a problem, because he would. He would piss and moan about, well, you're letting fucking Stephanie move with you, and she's not even your goddamn family, but you're going to just fucking drop this on my lap and kick me out? It's beyond their control. I mean, it's already been said. It's already been done. If they have to be out by the 8th, they have to be out by the 8th. That doesn't mean that it's legally right. Doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily do anything to try and get that 30 days. I honestly don't know. But all I'm saying is, if we tell him now, knowing that he's on his way down there, it's going to ruin his time down there. He's going to piss and moan about the whole thing the entire time that he's down there, and he's going to ruin the visit for everybody. I want Carl to know, but I know what the consequences of that is going to be. Okay? And here's the hardest part of the whole damn thing, is if he does end up losing a bunch of his stuff, okay, well then just please help him to understand. It's like, Michael, don't get mad at us for wanting to keep this from you. We just need to know that you're not going to say anything to Carl, at least not right now, because they're already under enough stress as it is. They're being thrown out in 5 days. Carl is down there in Kentucky, so I know my mom and I know Jim. They're going to want to move as much stuff as they can, as quickly as they can before he gets back Sunday. But most likely the realism of it is they're going to probably have to tell him Sunday. I don't want to be there when they do, because I don't want him fucking coming at me and attacking me and lashing out at me, because I know he will. Because that's just the way Carl is. You know, he has done this to himself. There's too many times, and I'm not saying necessarily that he should be thrown out on the street. If the circumstances were different and Carl had nowhere to go, then yeah, I would be first up to bat going, no, you guys can't do this to him. He has nowhere to go. Okay? But Chelsea has already invited him to come and live there. None of us knew that it was going to happen this quick, because apparently some false information was exchanged somewhere along the line. I don't know who, but it was my understanding that the couple that bought the house, the 202, was going to let them stay through the winter. And that Jim, as part of his way of paying them and thanking them for letting them stay so that they had more time, so that they could move stuff and get into the new place and all that, that he would fix up even more of the house, so that when this couple comes to investigate it themselves and see all the damage, because whatever it looks like right now, you know, when they get all their stuff out of the house, then that means this new couple now, they're going to have to come up with the money to fix the place. And if they do or don't have that money, you know, that's not on us. I just hope that they'll be able to make it, and they'll be able to have the money to invest, you know, to get the house fixed up. But, you know, I mean, this is hard enough for me to deal with. And, you know, because Carl, there's too many times when Carl has had money that he should have, in good conscience and out of gratefulness for the fact that Mom and Jim have let him stay there as long as they have, he would have tried to pay them something, and he never did. So that's not exactly fair to them. Okay? Like this $4,000, for instance, he could have given them at least some of that money, you know, if for no other reason than to help them have the money to move. Okay? So, Michael, I'm sorry if you don't understand. Please don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at Brooke. Don't take this out on any of us or Brooke, because I'm trying to keep my shit together right now, because I know that this shit's about to blow up. As soon as Carl knows, which most likely will be Sunday when he gets back, all hell's going to break loose. And I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there, because I don't know that I would be able to be any type of comfort to Carl, because he's going to attack me as much as he's going to attack everybody else that's there, because we didn't tell him before he went down to Kentucky tonight. I didn't want to ruin his time down there with his kids. I didn't want to ruin his time with his grandkids and Chelsea. So they decided they didn't want him to know. And all I can do is relay the information they gave me. And Toby said he don't want Carl there. He don't want Carl at the new place. So in my mind, that also means he doesn't want Carl to know the address. So I'm sorry, sweetie. I hope that Michael, you know, don't like take this out on you or take it out on us or get mad at us. I mean, I don't like the dishonesty of everything, but I can see it, at least to a point, why they chose to do things this way. And if it means having to tell him Sunday because they have no choice, then that's what's going to happen. But I don't want Carl attacking me and lashing out at me and calling me and bah, 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 bah. I don't need the shit. Okay? I don't need the shit. I love Carl to death, but he burnt his bridges long ago. He really did. Because like I said, there's plenty of times he had money. Yeah, I imagine he's not. I'm not either. I mean, but like I said, I have no say in it, hun. I have no say. None. Okay? This is between, in essence, this is between Mom, Jim, Stephanie, and Toby. I have no say. I can't tell them to do one thing or another. I can't. It's not my place. It's just not, But I remember all the way back when Carl reaffirmed and clarified from Chelsea and Justin that they're like, yeah, you can move down here, Dad. My thought was, why hasn't Carl started packing his stuff? And why hasn't he made plans already, okay, to see just, how soon he can start moving his stuff down there? He did none of that. He thought of none of that. I wish things could be different. This is a bomb on my lap too. I'm not thrilled, but there's nothing I can really do. Oh boy. Great. So now he's going to be pissed at us. See, this is the bomb. This is the war. This is the battle that the cards told me several days ago was about to happen. And that was the best that the cards could do was they can only help so far. The cards can only help so far. They're not foolproof. They can't wave their magic wand any more than any of us can to change the outcome of things. But the best that I can do at this point, I know, honey, I know. And believe me, I'm not happy the way this happened either, because I don't think it's right to give Mom and Jim the false illusion that they were going to be able to stay there till the winter. And now, today, he tells me we've been evicted. We have to be out by the 8th. Okay? In all fairness, that's not fair to anybody. That's not fair to anybody involved. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to Chris. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to Michael. It's not fair to Mom, Jim, and Stephanie, and Carl. It's not fair. It's not. So the best that I can hope to arrive at is when I am going down there Monday evening is to tell Chelsea and Lisa then and see what their take is on it. How they would, Yes, exactly. Because nobody needs the stress, okay? Least of all Mom and Jim, because they're the oldest here, okay? And I love my brother to death, but I don't like a lot of the shit he does because I don't think it's right. I hate, it breaks my heart, Brooke, that they hate each other so much, that they would do this. That even Toby, the very person that's given them this place to live, their own pastor, doesn't want Carl there. What am I going to do? Tell Toby you can't do that to my brother? I just don't think he would listen. And I don't know how many bedrooms the place has. I don't know any of that. We won't know any of that until we go over there tomorrow to help. But yeah, it's not fair to anybody. And now this has been dropped in all our laps and we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? How are we supposed to handle this one now? Because what hurts me the most out of all this is it's just going to make them hate each other even more. Probably this is going to be the final straw where Carl's going to be like, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, my mom's dead. As far as I'm concerned, Jim's dead. And he may even still come and backlash at me and say, well, since you knew about this, Janet, and you didn't tell me, then you're no better than them. How do you think that's going to make me feel? How much do you think that's going to hurt me? It's going to hurt me terribly because out of all the horrible shit, and I can tell you some pretty fucked up shit that Carl has done to me, I always have his back. I always forgive him. I go over there and get him happy when he doesn't have anybody else. I go over there and I am his sounding board. I go over there to listen, to hear him constantly bitch and gripe about stuff that he has no control over changing now any more than he did back then when it first happened. Back then when it first happened, he should have thought. He should have stopped and he should have thought before he acted, and he didn't. So it puts a lot of pressure on me to keep the peace in the family, because those of us that try to keep the peace, we can't always do that. And I just feel like this is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back, that Carl's probably never going to speak to any of them again, and he may even include me in that, and I'm supposed to still be okay with that and not be hurt by that and still go over and try to see him. you know, I mean, that's, I have to be honest, that's not going to be easy for me to deal with. But I know my brother, and I would be completely stunned and surprised if he doesn't take this out on me. And I'm the only one out of our entire family, and Michael, of course. Yeah, it is. It's very messy. You know, I don't know how we're all going to get through it. I really don't. I don't know what's going to end up happening in the end. All I can say, and I mean, if this upsets Michael and he gets pissed at me for it, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell him, but if Carl turns on me because of this, then I'm sorry, but I'm not, it's not going to be easy for me. I don't know that I would ever want to talk to my brother again, because there's only so much each of us can take. And once that limit is reached, the only thing left is somebody's going to blow up, somebody's going to have a meltdown, or somebody may just end up biting the bullet and fucking kill themselves because they can't take it. I hope that person doesn't become me, and I'm not saying that it will be, but it's already hurting me to the degree, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, as each day approaches, and especially as Sunday gets here. I'm not looking forward to it, because, oh boy. Honey, will you do me a favor? Talk to our son, because he heard what I was saying on the live stream. So you talk to him, and if he's going to start on me, I'm sorry, but I can't take it right now. I can't. So you might want to take it off speaker, because I don't even want to hear what he says.
He just said he's hung. He said, I'm telling Chelsea he's hung.
Well, see, there you go. He's telling Chelsea. Okay? Yeah. He's telling Chelsea. He just called me on my phone only long enough to say, I'm telling Chelsea, and hung up. So does that sound to you like Michael is being my wonderful, loving son right now? He's already decided I'm the bad guy here. I'm not the bad guy here. All I know is I've been thrown into this fucking situation and this mess. Now he's going to ruin the entire trip for Carl and Tina by telling Chelsea, because as angry as I can already tell Michael is, and the fact that he said, I'm telling Chelsea, and hung up, didn't even give us the chance to say hi, bye, or kiss my ass, or, you know, hi, bye, or whatever. He's calling her right now to tell her. So what do you think the chances are that she's going to turn around and tell her dad as soon as he gets down there? He's going to call Chelsea. He's calling her right now. And he's about to tell her all that he just heard me say on the live stream about the situation. And he's going to ruin the entire visit for everybody now. He just ruined the entire visit for everybody. Because now I expect, after he tells Chelsea, and then once Carl and Tina get down there, if she chooses to tell him and Tina, who do you think they're going to call, Brooke? Who do you think they're going to call and bitch at and lash out at? Me. Chelsea doesn't know yet, but how long does it take Michael? He's probably calling her right now. How long is it going to take before she answers the fucking phone? You watch. Before the evening's out, I'll either get a phone call or a text message from either Tina, Carl, or both. And they're going to fucking take this shit out on me. Because Michael is going to be speaking out of anger. Okay? because he's going to be speaking out of anger. And I'm not saying that he's not right for being angry. Do you think I'm enjoying this? Because I'm not. I'm really not. This breaks my heart because they're going to fucking attack me too. Well, if you knew, you should have said something. This is out of my hands, Brooke. I can't stop any of this. I can't change any of this. I can't. And Michael is not going to understand that because he's reactionary. He's gonna be telling her, he's gonna be angry. And what do you think that's gonna do to Chelsea? And then so when Chelsea tells Carl and Tina, then she's possibly gonna be angry. So therefore they're gonna be angry. And what kind of visit you think everybody's gonna have now? There's no fixing this. I know, honey, and I appreciate that, but this is why now you can understand. Seeing how Michael reacted yourself, and I told you what he just said. He just called my phone, Brooke, not Chris, my phone. Right here. I'm telling Chelsea, click.
Yeah. When he normally calls for a regular call, he calls my phone.
So whatever it ends up turning out to be, and I just hope that this doesn't turn Chelsea against me or something, and she decides that she don't want me to come down Monday. No.
Dear? You may not like this, what I'm going to say, Brooke, so.
Hey, Holly.
But
or Riley. I know it's one of you.
Dear. Easy way to get the point across to Michael next time he calls. Say, you just pissed off your grandmother. And we were asked not to tell Carl. Because Pastor Toby does not want Carl there and will not let them live there if Carl's there.
Yeah. Yep. Hang on, Holly. I'll give you the recap in a minute, honey.
Because he doesn't want all that junk that Carl has. 3 fucking trucks that won't run. A camper that won't run and can't be used to camp in.
Mm-hmm. That he won't fix.
And all the other garbage that is just that. Garbage. It's stuff that needs to go to a recycling center. It can't be used for anything.
Nope. And Carl won't let it go.
And it's all over. It's along 2 sides of the garage.
Yep. The garage is
about
full.
3 feet deep.
The garage.
The garage is full of stuff that probably can be used if it hasn't rotted away.
Right.
But the stuff outside is what I'm talking about. It's junk.
Yeah. A lot of it
cannot be used. It's worthless crap.
And Carl won't get rid of it. So that's not good,
I mean, there's half of an engine stand sitting between his El Camino and his fucking dually. Along with at least 3 mowers and 1 trimmer that are missing half their parts. And the parts are not around there.
That's
true. He got them missing the parts.
Yeah. He did.
So, it's Pastor Toby doesn't want that shit around his property. Especially since it's right in front of his house.
Yeah.
I mean, his house sits back off the road. The house he's letting them use sits right beside his driveway.
Yeah.
Up by the street. Yeah.
So anything that they have outside their property, outside of 193, that's going to reflect poorly. They could get code enforcement over there. They could get in all kinds of fucking trouble because Carl won't let the shit go. Okay, Holly, honey, to give you a recap. Okay. So you're like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I just got a call from my dad, or who I call my dad, Jim, about 20 or so minutes ago. And he drops this bombshell in my lap through a text message that him and my mom have now been evicted, where we were of the understanding that they were going to at least have 30 days by legal law, 30 days, okay, to get their shit moved. But no. I'm not sure who's responsible. I don't know if it's the new couple that have bought the place or what, but they're saying that Mom and Jim have to be out by the 8th of this month, which is in 5 days. Now, with the amount of stuff that Jim has, outside and in, the amount of stuff that Mom has, mostly inside, the amount of stuff that Stephanie has, who it's my understanding Jim is going to put his foot down and say, Stephanie's moving with us, Mom, and I don't care if you like it or not. Okay? It's just going to get holy fucking stupid, crazy nuts. And the only thing that I have in a positive to think of right now, and I hope that Chelsea doesn't turn against me because of this, because Michael, my son, he heard the live stream. He heard what happened, heard what was going on. Okay. So they have to move out by the 8th of this month. That's 5 days. Okay. Toby, their pastor of their church that they go to, where Jim is also a deacon. So yeah, he's pretty high on the priority list of these people. Okay. Oh, God. This house that they're moving into is property that I guess, it's my understanding, Toby owns. Okay. So Toby said part of his terms of allowing Mom and Jim to have this place to move to, okay? I'm glad, and I know that we all three can agree that I'm glad that that blessing is at least in place. However, Toby has asked Carl. He does not want Carl there. He doesn't want Carl at the new place. So Carl is not going to be asked to move with them. Carl is coming back probably this Sunday afternoon, probably around 4:00. Chris is on the phone right now with Chelsea. So that's like the only hope that I'm holding on to by a thread right now, that Chris will get Chelsea to understand, so that when Michael calls in absolute anger towards me, towards Chris, towards Mom and Jim, and everybody involved, I would think that Michael would rather Mom and Jim be willing to meet Toby's terms, or would he rather see them all get thrown out on the street? Does he really want his 90-year-old grandmother thrown out on the street because she tells Toby no, and I'm going to let my son move in whether you like it or not? That's not going to happen. So Toby don't want Carl there. Michael is going to be calling Chelsea in absolute anger. He called me on my phone, Holly, not Chris. He called me on my phone, and all he said was, I'm telling Chelsea, click. So that's Michael's reaction. Okay. He's not seeing things from all sides. No, it's not. But because Michael heard me talking about it during the live stream that we're doing right now. Okay. Brooke said, she said, I'm sorry, Mom, but I didn't know Michael, he can hear what you're saying. I didn't think that the volume was that loud, but apparently Michael could hear. So then he hangs up talking to Brooke. He calls my phone only long enough to say, I'm telling Chelsea, click. So see, and I just said this not moments ago, Michael is taking this out on me, and this is not of my doing. Yeah, more or less. I mean, because all he said was, I'm telling Chelsea. That was all the longer he spoke on the phone. I'm telling Chelsea, and then he hung up. He didn't even give us so much as a chance to answer. As soon as I looked on my phone and I saw that it was Michael, you can go back in the live stream and verify. I said, honey, I said, Chris, I said, you handle this, because if Michael lashes out at me for this, and it is not of my doing, I am simply relaying what was told to me. Okay. So Michael's pissed off. Carl's on his way down to Kentucky. Chris is on the phone with Chelsea trying to explain everything to her so she don't take this shit out on us. Okay. I cannot change Toby's mind, This cannot be fixed. Okay. But because Michael is being reactionary and he's going to be speaking out of anger. Okay. All things considered, you know, it's like, and he's already taken it out on me. And I had no, the only thing I really said was I agree with Mom, Jim, Stephanie, and Toby's reasoning of why they don't want Carl there. They don't want him to know where the new place is. They don't want him living there. And yes, you know, Brooke just said Toby is their pastor. He's the pastor of the church that Jim and Mom go to. So Michael is pissed because his grandmother is being evicted and he thinks it's your fault, more or less. Yeah. Okay. I think Michael's main bitch and gripe is that Carl, we're trying to leave Carl out. Okay, think about this, Holly. Carl and Tina, which is Chelsea, my niece, okay? Yeah. Carl and Chelsea, or Carl and Tina, who are Chelsea's biological mother and father, are on their way right now to Kentucky to see Chelsea and the kids. Yeah, Toby has literally given them a place that Toby himself owns, or at least that's my understanding. So I think that's great that at least they have somewhere to go. And I understand, and this may sound like I'm being against Carl, but I understand their reasoning why they didn't want Carl to know this, because he's on his way down there to see Chelsea and the kids right now, him and Tina both. If Michael calls Chelsea in anger and lashes out at us because of something we have no control over, okay, then he's going to ruin the visit for everybody. Michael's going to ruin the visit for the kids. He's going to ruin the visit for Chelsea. He's going to ruin it for Carl, and he's going to ruin it for Tina. And who do you think Carl's going to lash out at? Who do you think Tina's going to lash out at? They're going to lash out at me. Even though it has nothing to do with me in the sense I did not evict them. I did not put them in this situation. They just dropped this bomb in my lap.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you go.
Oh,
All right. Okay. There, take a deep breath, relax.
And Mom is also upset, Holly, because she doesn't like the idea that Stephanie is moving with them. Yeah, it is. And I'm surprised that I haven't broke down and literally started crying, because I'm thinking and about everybody that this is going to affect and how badly it's going to hurt everybody. Yeah, it is. And I was saying this earlier in the live stream too, and it's not like I haven't said it other times, but just to reiterate, out of all the horrible things that Carl has done to me throughout the years, how many times he talks badly about me behind my back, which I can't really get upset with him over that because I do the same to him. And I'm not proud of it. I'm really not, okay? Yeah, it is. It's one big clusterfuck. And Stephanie being Michael's ex, okay? She is still, very much a part of our family, but not in the sense of, her and Michael, of course, because Brooke and Michael are together now, and I couldn't be happier for them both. But what I'm not looking forward to, and what I think is unfair, is that Michael's he's taking this shit out on me, and I had nothing to do with it. I'm not the one that evicted them, for one, and I'm not Toby. I can't fix this. I can't change this. I'm not even going to try. But I'm probably not going to be able to talk to my son Michael now for a while, because he's not going to be able to let that anger go. Holly, Carl, he has had plenty of times in the past where Um, who decided not to tell him? Jim, I think, was the main one that said, don't let Carl know about this, because my thought right now, my strongest thought is, yes, that is the house that Naomi sold. Yes. Okay. Now there's details that I do not yet know that I'm hoping to find out more about it tomorrow when me and Chris go over there to help them start packing and stuff. Maybe hopefully move a couple of loads over, because the place that they're moving to, Holly, is going to be closer to us. So I'm trying to look at the pluses here. And that's really hard to do, because I don't want Michael, being mad at me. I don't want Michael, being mad at the wrong people for the wrong reasons. It's like, what are you going to do? Call Toby and cuss him out? Because you don't like the way Carl is being done? But Carl had $4,000 not a couple weeks ago, Holly, okay? He had $4,000. He was supposed to give 1,000 of that to Chelsea to help run her business.
Dear, he also called up Jim and told them that if they're taking Stephanie,
Hang on.
but not Carl, he's not going to talk to him ever again.
See,
And
again,
then hung up.
this is how Michael is reacting.
Our son's going to get a verbal ass whipping if he calls back.
Please don't say anything, because I believe she's talking to him on the phone again. And I just, at this point, I'm afraid to say anything myself, because I don't need Michael mad at me. This was not my doing.
I don't care.
This was not my choice.
He calls me, who are you? He's going to get a verbal ass whipping. He's going to be told he's not fucking 16. This is the real fucking world. He needs to grow up. He's going to be told that we were asked not to say anything because of the fact that Pastor Toby doesn't want Carl and all his shit, which even Carl calls it shit, junk, over there. He doesn't want someone living there who's not going to be paying rent. He's not wanting someone over there who's not going to help keep the place, take care of the place. He knows Jim will. So, this isn't on your mom, Jim. This is on Pastor Toby's not wanting him over. Yeah, your mom, Jim really don't want him there either. But I really doubt either one of them is strong enough that they would have totally turned him down if they had the option. So, Michael's got no reason to be bitching at you or to be bitching at your mom, Jim. And he's got no reason to treat Stephanie that way, because Stephanie's never done him bad. Yeah, they may not meet together anymore. She may be an ex. But she's never done him really wrong. Anyway, sorry, go on.
Yeah, exactly. And the only thing I can say in my defense, as far as Michael, this was not my doing. This was a request that Pastor Toby made. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to hear none of it. Please, I don't. Michael's calling Krista on the phone now. I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because I'm that fucking close to having a goddamn breakdown myself. And I'm trying to keep my shit together for my friends that I'm live streaming with right now.
Yeah, okay. That I misunderstood. Jim didn't say that. Jim didn't tell me that. But you heard the reason, did you? Did you hear everything about Carl?
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Carl
Exactly. And you see, this is literally struck me silent because I honestly don't even know what to say at this point. I don't. Hey, Boo Boo. Boo Boo Kitty. See, Boo Boo can tell that there's some bad stuff going on too because he suddenly jumped up on Mommy's lap and he's trying to be loving because he knows this is a lot to deal with. And I love Michael, but I can't talk to him right now.
No, you misunderstand.
I can't talk.
We're not hiding the fact that they have to move. That's not what's being hidden from Cole. What's being hidden is the house. No. He was pretty much looked at from the very beginning. They totally found in place. He could not come. Carl knew that from the beginning. The only thing that they're hiding is where
Chris is talking to Michael. I can't.
because Toby doesn't want him over there, period.
Toby doesn't want Carl knowing where they live any more than he would have been okay with Carl moving with them. Okay. So he's trying to explain to Michael where Michael has misunderstood. Okay. And also hopefully help Michael to understand that he has no right taking this out on me. This is not my doing. I did not ask for this. I did not evict them. And I did not tell Toby to say, oh, well, don't let Mom and Jim move in unless they agree to not tell Carl. I said none of that.
Well, she thought with the way you called it, when you called before, that basically was the message you were sending.
I can't talk to him right now. I know.
No.
I know. And Chris just got through telling him, he's like, Michael, the way you just did your mom and the way you just called her on the phone and said what you said and then hung up before anybody could say a single fucking word to you, do not take this out on us because we are not at fault here. We are simply being asked to keep it from Carl if we can because we know what it's going to cause. And I don't want somebody to die from having a fucking heart attack over this or a fucking stroke or a damn breakdown that they end up in the fucking hospital and they don't survive it. Because then I'm going to have their death to deal with.
You have to understand, grandma's, if she's mixed messages, she tells other people she can't say it.
If I start crying, just bear with me because this is a lot to fucking deal with. My family hates each other so much that they would do this to each other. And I can't fix it. I can't fix it. Only they can. And if they choose not to, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do.
Okay, Michael, I need to get off. Hold on.
No, I can't. I can't. I'm not even going to be able to get out a sentence because all I can do is cry right now because I feel like this shit is crashing down on my head. And I can't take it. I can't.
Can you hear that sound? Your mom's really upset. I need to get off the phone. Dear. Okay, hold on. Dear, Michael's not upset at you. Michael, there's a bit of misunderstanding. He thought we were hiding the whole move from Carl. That they had to move. That Carl didn't know about it. Carl's known about it. He knew about it before he left. So I explained to him what the thing that's being hidden from him is only where the house is that they're moving to because Pastor Toby doesn't want it. So, that's the reason why he was a bit upset when he called earlier. Called your phone. So he's not upset at you. He's a little upset at Jim because Jim didn't tell me the full story. When Michael, you're not on speaker, so just hold on. I'll turn you on speaker. She's okay with it once I'm finished explaining. Okay. Sorry. But
Right now, I'm trying
He
not to
told-
throw up.
he told Jim that if he moved Stephanie in with him against your mother's wishes, that he wouldn't talk to Jim anymore. And basically, Jim was dead to him. Okay, not your mom, Jim. So that was a misunderstanding because Jim didn't say it like that. Jim said it like he was talking about Michael wasn't talking to either one of them. So anyway, you talk to him a little bit.
Whatever.
Okay, Michael, you're on speaker.
Mama, I'm not upset with you. I'm on your side. Your baby boy is on your side. Okay? I agree. I agree with you. Okay? If you want Uncle Carl has a place to go, he's okay. If there was what Grandpa's doing, listen, I know you like Stephanie. Okay, I get it. I understand that. Alright, and I'm not going to take that from you. I'm glad you got a friend. But look, Grandma does not like her. Grandma doesn't want her around.
I know.
Okay, and if Jim is gonna go against Grandma's wishes, I still gotta say that if you took Stephanie out, I love him too, then that's on him. Grandma doesn't want her around. Okay? If Jim moves Stephanie into that house against Grandma's wishes, I will never speak to him again.
I don't blame you.
Speak to that man again.
I don't blame you.
Grandma is my family.
Yeah.
Grandma is my family.
Yeah.
Jim has been my grandpa's figure for as long as I can remember, and I will not tolerate anyone disrespecting my grandmother. Any fucking buddy. That is my grandma. Back off. I don't care who the fuck you are. Back off.
Yeah.
I do not play with my family. I love you guys. You are family. That is the strongest fucking word for me. Family. You are family. Brooke is family. Dad is family. Okay? Grandma's family. Uncle Kyle's family. You guys are my family. Okay? And if you're going to go against my family, especially my grandmother, or my mother, or my wife, or my dad, you ain't got shit coming from me.
Yeah.
Period. Nothing. And if I'm cussing on my live stream and you get you in trouble, I apologize. That is not what I'm trying to do. But absolutely not. You
No.
absolutely do not go against my family.
Well, Michael, the reason why I was concerned that you were upset and angry with me is because the way when you called my phone, and I was so scared that you were going to lash out at me, and this is not my doing, that I just handed the phone to Chris. Listen, I handed the phone to Chris, and he said, all you said was, I'm telling Chelsea, click, and hung up. So I'm thinking, oh, great, now he's going to take it out on me, and this is not my doing.
No. I was upset because I thought you were hiding everything from Carl.
No.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
The man is a lot of stuff, and I wanted to get his stuff out of it in a timely fashion. I don't want to delete any of his stuff. He's going to live with his daughter. Awesome. I talked to Chelsea. Everything's taken care of. There's nothing to worry about. Okay? He's going down south. You got not to worry about him anymore. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, but the
Michael,
reason
3/4 of the stuff he has, he could lose, and he would never even. It wouldn't hurt him one bit because it's junk. His Monte Carlo doesn't run; it's rusted out.
Understandable.
Half the stuff around the garage and outside are just broken parts. That's it. Broken junk.
I get it. No, I've been there. I've seen it. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I get it. I've seen it firsthand. Years ago, I get it. Okay?
And see, Michael, irregardless, you know how I am about Carl as well. I mean, he's done some pretty fucked up shit to me. He has hurt me more ways and times than I can even explain. However, I always have his back. I don't like this any more than you, that they are doing things this way. I really don't.
I know. I know. You raised me. My sense of family comes from you. I know.
Yeah.
Okay? I've amplified it. I'm a lot more in touch with family. Like, I take that shit seriously. Ask anybody. Like, I talk to Chelsea about it all the time when I call her. Like, family. Like, that's it, family.
Yep.
But look, everything is okay. All right? Everything is okay. Everything is fine. Okay?
Okay, but don't be surprised if in a future live stream I'm on here bawling my eyes out because I can't help but think Carl's going to take this out on me.
Then Carl gets treated the same as Naomi. He's no longer part of the family. You
Go ahead,
can't have
Michael.
that toxic shit.
Babe, I can't hear you both.
Look, he has no reason to take it out on you. He's got a place to stay. Okay? Just, it's been taken care of. Honestly, if you already knows, Mom, why don't you text him and tell him? Be the good guy. Be the hero. You go out of your way. You text him. You tell him what's going on. Okay? Let him know. Be the little sister. Help your brother. Okay?
Well, the way I understand.
Don't tell him what the house is. That's fine. But call him the text. This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be
Hang
recorded
on,
and
guys.
monitored. Talk to him, okay? Talk to him.
Okay. Okay, Michael, I love you too, but I think Chris has already talked to Chelsea too, so hopefully by the time I thought you did.
I don't have Chelsea's number.
Okay, well, see, I'm screwed up there. I thought he did. Anyway, okay. I will try my best to do that, but here's the thing, Michael, and this is the only reason that I don't think, and I'm not sure, let me say that, I'm not sure it's a good idea, even though I have every good intention, okay? You know, I don't know that I can go through with it simply because if I tell Carl this now, okay, it's going to ruin the entire visit for him that he's on his way to Chelsea's right now to spend time.
He already knows.
He knows about the move.
He's already taken hours. Okay? He already knows what's going on.
Okay.
He's already taken hours.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, Toby asked that Carl not be allowed to go. Now that's Toby. Okay. He does not want Carl there. He doesn't want Carl moving in. He doesn't want Carl even knowing where the place is. That's my understanding. Okay. So my thing is this, my thing is this, and this is what I am the most worried about, and I'm trying not to be. Okay. When Carl comes back Sunday, what do you think the chances are that we're going to be able to hide from him? And not that I want to anyway, why they're suddenly moving a bunch of shit. Where are they moving it to? Carl's going to be all questions.
He's not dumb. He's already called Toby and talked to Toby himself. He knows what's going on. Okay?
Does he know that Toby don't want him there? Does he know that Toby don't want him to know the address?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he knows that.
All right.
As far as I know, that's what he knows. Okay?
All right.
Where's the brother? I love you guys. I don't have any time left on here. I almost had a minute. I got money on the phone. I don't got any minutes on the phone. I love you.
Okay. Love you. All right.
Hey, Michael.
Love you guys.
Hey, real quick before you hang up.
Somebody shoot me.
If I have enough money left over after the rest of the bills come out, I'll put a little bit of money on your phone. But I can't guarantee it. It's going to be close.
That's fine. Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
All right.
Don't you dare act like that. Don't you dare act like that, Mama. I love you. Stop it.
Okay.
All right.
I love you.
Love you.
Hey, you make a boy.
Yep.
All right.
You literally want me to kiss the phone? I don't think it's going to go through. Oh my God.
Just right by the
There.
microphone.
You happy?
Oh, man, now there's lip prints.
Shut up.
Ew, I got to sterilize it.
You want to wear this?
I got to sterilize my phone. Oh, no.
Okay. Well, thank you, spirits.
Wasn't necessarily interfering with
Thank
the live
you,
stream.
everybody that
It let
has
them know that
clarified for me that everything's okay, so it's less stuff that I got to worry about.
let everybody know a little more about what's going on and some of the misunderstanding.
Yes, Holly, it's Toby. Some of the downside of Carl, And, that was a metaphor, by the way. It's kind of one of those things, you're so stressed, you're like, someone just shoot me, because you just want it to stop. I know. And I would never do that. Okay. I already know. I've tried it before. I've tried to kill myself in the past several times. It didn't work. So that's not going to happen. Don't worry. But it was a metaphor. It's just my brain's and my emotions' way of trying to get this out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the only one who commits suicide and actually succeeds. Unfortunately, not permanently.
Okay. So I hope, and I mean, Michael said, yes, Carl knows about everything. He knows what's going on. Okay, great. So, but I will feel better, I guess, is a good way to put this. I will feel loads better. I know, and I love you guys too. You're my reason for living. You guys are a lot of my strength, and you give me purpose, and you give me meaning, and because at least for the most part, when I do my live streams and we're all able to get on here together, those are the most precious times to me. I couldn't even begin to express. Okay. But because I'm going to be going down to Kentucky for a week, I didn't get to that part. Sorry, with all the hoopty ha. But Holly, I am going to try and stay down there for a whole week. Monday night, this coming Monday night, Chelsea and Lisa are going to come and get me because I have to leave the car here with Chris, because there's a lot of appointments that are happening this week coming up that he needs the car here. So while I was on the phone with Chelsea, she's like, don't worry about it, Aunt Janet, we'll come and get you. I said, okay, that's fine. But I've been wanting to do that for a while. Everybody down there loves me, you guys, and I'm telling you, I'm still trying to get used to this whole being this loved, and I love it. I'm grateful, and I'll take it. Just Chris saying hi. Oh boy. Okay, this should be interesting. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about now. I have no clue. But trying to keep it on the positive, because during these times of, okay, I'm upset, I'm hurt, I'm being hurt once again by the very people that I'm trying to support, Brooke says, hey, Papa. Little shit ass. Okay, well, there. Anyway, turn that down because it's too loud. It's.
I was just trying to let you know how definitely watching.
No shit. Chelsea and Lisa are coming to get me Monday night. I cannot see, in light of everything going on, and especially the bomb that was dropped in my lap today, staying there for just 2 days and then coming back. Okay. I only hope that the help that we're going to be giving Mom and Jim tomorrow, coupled with the people that I'm sure Toby's already rallying up to help with the move, okay, they'll be able to get a lot of it done, hopefully everything out of the house, and get completely moved out by the 8th, because I don't like the illegality of whoever has decided that they are evicted and they have until the 8th of December to get out. By legal law, they should have automatically 30 days, meaning January 8th, they should have until then to get their shit moved. And now it's my understanding that they're expected to move in 5 days. I'm only going to be able to help with 2 of those. I'm going to be over there tomorrow helping. I'm going to be over there over there Sunday helping, and part of Monday, because Chelsea and Lisa aren't coming and getting me until Monday evening. So, tell me something I don't know. But I'm glad that everything's out on the table. Okay. I will. But honey, the best way to do that, just let Michael know if he's listening. Michael, honey, okay. The best way for me to do that is I would feel better getting Mom grandma off by herself, so it's just me and her, and Jim's not anywhere around, so he can't hear what's going on, then I will tell her, okay? Because Jim did get shit twisted around. A lot of what he twisted around, I didn't even know about until Chris told me, okay? Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. And I'm right there with you on that, Michael. This hurts me too. This is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about all the people that are going to be hurt by this. And I'm going to feel that. Even though I have my empathic shield on that Chris made me years ago, that only helps so much. Okay? Because I love so deeply and I love so completely my family, it rips my heart out and stomps on it. And then puts it in a blender and hits frappe and then does a bunch of other shit to it as if that's not enough. The hatred between Carl, Naomi, Jim, Mom, and Stephanie is what hurts me the most. Yeah, and I mean, Carl, he's always been jealous that not only has me and Chris stayed together as long as we have, but what Carl fails to see, and sadly we feel he will never see, okay, is that nobody is ever going to want to be with Carl because of the way Carl is. And no, Holly, Carl, I mean, Chris can't be around Carl much because Carl just triggers Chris so badly that he wants to take his fucking head clean off. I read it.
No.
I did. Carl doesn't like you, Chris. No, Carl, but Jim. Carl thinks I'm very good for you. So he says to your face.
Yeah, well. I know he doesn't like me because of the way I am with him. I get frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see what I'm saying, Holly? Okay, so trying to keep things on a positive just for a moment, and as long as I possibly can from this point on. I'm looking forward to going down when they come and get me Monday night. I'm looking forward to being able to spend a week with them, so I might not even come back until sometime Monday. And, obviously Lisa's going to have to be willing to bring me back because I ain't got no money to give anybody for nothing, so I can't give money for gas or anything like that. But my goal and my focus while I am down there this time, okay, yes, Chris, I've already explained that to Holly in other live streams. Holly and Brooke both know, or at least I thought, okay, just to get you to further understand, because now you're confusing her even more. Thank you, darling. Jim has always had a thing for me since I was the age of 17. When I met Jim, the day I met Jim, that very weekend, he invited me to Kings Island. I didn't know this guy from Adam, okay? At the time, he was in his 40s. That's all I remember about it. We spent one night in a hotel room. We did not tell Mom. We did not tell Carl. We didn't tell anybody because they would have completely taken it wrong, even though I did it because I was trying to see for myself because Chris was nowhere around. So this was like this far back, all the way back to where I was 17. I stayed the night. Me and Jim spent the night in a hotel room because I wanted to see if I could actually go there with him in a romantic fashion. Okay. But when it came down to it, and after I came out of the bathroom and I had my nightgown on and we was getting ready to go to sleep for the night, the realization hit me. I can't do this. I can't go through with this. I told Jim, I'm sorry, but this is wrong. I can't do this. I do not feel that way about you. This feels wrong to me. I can't do this. Jim dropped the matter. He rolled over and went to sleep. I rolled over and went to sleep. We got up the next day. We went back to the house and proceeded to pack up or whatever the hell we decided to take that day to go to fucking Kings Island. So there is a very much unwanted lover's triangle in play here. My mother, my own mother, mind you, has always been jealous and doesn't like me very well because Jim fell for me, not her. So mom feels that even if it was simply out of obligation because she took Jim in, she gave Jim a home, she gave Jim a family, she did this, she did that. Out of obligation, he should have at least given her a try and been her little lover boy. But he no more feels that way about her than I felt that way about him. So my mom's pissed off because Jim fell for me, not her. Jim says that he's okay with me not being that way with him, but he's not, because even though Jim tries to hide it and he tries to make it like he's my dad and he understands the relationship now and, you know, blah, 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 I know better. Every time I am in Jim's presence, it's a very quickly becomes a very uncomfortable feeling, because those feelings that he still has for me, yes. See, the reason why I said lover's triangle is because mom's pissed off because Jim fell for me, not her. Mom has always wanted Jim in that way, but he has never felt that way about her. So I've never felt that way about him. I tried to go there with him once, didn't work, didn't feel right. So I owed it to myself and I said, no, I can't do this. Jim dropped the matter. He became more like a dad to me and we kind of went from there. But every time I'm around him, I am very quickly reminded that those feelings are still there and they're always going to be there, which makes it harder for me to be around him because he can't even go out and find him a woman. He can't go out and find him a girl because every time he tries Holly and Brooke, my mom will sabotage it every time. Because, and this is exactly the way mom phrased it once that I was not happy about. If Jim moves out and he goes and lives with some other woman, there goes my bill payer. And I'm like, oh, Mom, how can you be so cold? How can you be so cruel and heartless as to do that to him? You're denying him love. He's never going to have love. He's never going to have a girlfriend. Yes, exactly. Exactly. They blame this shit on me rather than take the responsibility where it is due. Their own fucking responsibility. Okay? I tried it with Jim. It didn't work. He dropped the matter. Okay? But every time I'm around my mom and Jim, all I'm simply saying is I am constantly reminded of how much she envies and is jealous of me, because she knows as well as I do that Jim still has those feelings for me. And because of the fact that he's never going to be able to find him another woman that he can be happy with, which I would love to see Jim with somebody that made him happy. I really, truly would. The man has been through hell and back more times than I can even count. Mom has wiped him. She has beaten him down so horribly that he just gave up. I don't, when I speak about it, yeah, there's still a lot of anger, but I don't bring it up. Like when I'm around them, I just kind of put it on a back burner. But it's just, it makes it harder for me to be around him, knowing that he still feels that way about me, and he's never going to not feel that way about me, because I'm the only female that's ever going to be able to be in his life, that every time I walk through that door, he's going to be reminded that he couldn't have me either. Okay? He has a thing for Stephanie, or at least it's my understanding that he does, but I doubt very seriously that Stephanie looks on him. As a matter of fact, I'm certain she looks on him as a grandfather. She looks on him as family. She doesn't have romantic feelings for him. She's trying to date some other guy, and I hope it works out for her and him. I really do. So no. The only time that, Holly, that I'm able to be around my mom when Jim is not there is if he's out doing, like if he's out running errands. And, you know, for instance, if mom knew I was coming or whatever, most likely she's going to do one of two things. She's going to either go with him and insist that Jim let her ride around with him while he runs his errands, even though a lot of times he don't want her there. But it's her way of getting out of the house or whatever. So no, the only time that I really have any time where it's just me and mom is if I could somehow talk her into getting in the car with me and going somewhere, which is really, really hard to do, because there's been times when I've gone over there and I have offered to take mom to the store. I've offered to take her, different places. Yeah, possibly. My hope is that now that they've got a house that they're moving into and everything, once they get moved in and they get settled and everything's unpacked and things are calming down, because I don't know at this point, guys, if Stephanie's going with them or not. I really don't. Again, I won't know any more about that until we go over there tomorrow to help. But I'm hoping that Stephanie will be able to find another place and not even try to move with them, because mom does not like Stephanie. Mom has never liked Stephanie. And I kind of don't blame her, because Jim let Stephanie move in there without mom's permission. He basically snuck her in there, let her stay in my old room, which I call the blue room, because the walls are all painted blue. So to me, it's always been the blue room, because that was the room I stayed in when I lived there with mom before I got this place. So Stephanie's in there now, and Jim let Stephanie move in without mom's permission. So you better believe I had to go through some shit with that too, because being who I am and loving to the degree and depth that I do, irregardless of the circumstances, I'm always trying to fix things. I'm always trying to help everybody to live in harmony with one another, because their hatred for each other is so strong, it breaks my heart every time I'm around them. Honestly, I feel like for the most part, Jim wants Stephanie to continue living with them because he wants her himself. And like he did with me, he's not gonna go away easily. He understands Stephanie's situation. He understands that she has limited places that she herself can go. And he considers Stephanie family. Okay. To me, Stephanie is more, she's like a friend. Yeah, it's not good. Exactly. So I'm hoping that by some miracle, Stephanie will, to keep any further problems from happening. Oh, good, babe, I already told him that. I think personally, Jim wants Stephanie to go with him because he has a thing for her, and he's still hopeful that they might be able to hook up. But I can tell you right now, as sure as tomorrow is another day, that Stephanie does not feel that way towards Jim. She has never felt that way towards Jim. And to keep the stress levels down, especially for Stephanie, Jim, and mom, okay, I hope that Stephanie finds another place to go, because it's just not worth it to continue to go against mom's wishes and basically forcefully let Stephanie move in, knowing that mom does not like her and blah, 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 and the whole bull crap. I know, like, for instance, I know Stephanie she's trying to get a job. I don't know where that stands. Last I knew, she said, because she talked to me earlier today, and she said, I'm not sure. I haven't heard from them yet, because I kept telling her, you got to stop thinking, I hope I get the job. I hope I get the job. You got to turn that thinking into, I have the job. I have the job. You've got to be able to feel yourself into the future of what it will feel like when they call you and tell you you got the job. The more strength and power you give to that manner of thinking, then it's pretty much a guarantee you got the job. It just, for whatever reasons, we don't know yet until they do call her. I'm still hopeful. I believe she's got the job, but there may be other factors that are happening that, they haven't been, they haven't had a chance to get it across to Stephanie yet. Okay. So, but yes, as far as, talking with mom one-on-one, I plan on doing that in some fashion, but I want to get them moved in first, give them a chance to settle in, help them to get unpacked and figure out, start doing the house up really nice and everything. So that'll make mom happy. And then, you know, when I feel within me, okay, now is the time, then I will say, hey, Mom, you know, I got some errands to run today. Do you want to go with me? And just see if she says yes or no. If she says no, I'll be like, okay, you're lost, because I had some really, you know, important stuff I wanted to talk to you about that I didn't want anybody else around, because I'm trying to keep the problems down. I'm trying to keep the stress levels down, because the last thing any of us needs right now is somebody ending up in the hospital because they have a breakdown. Yes. So, and not that it is needed, but, you know, Chris is correct when he says Jim has a tendency to fall for younger women. Well, that's too much of a commonality worth even mentioning, because that's with a lot of guys, you know, a lot of older guys especially, they tend to like to go with younger women. And before he has a chance to say anything about that, Chris himself normally goes for older women. I am the one exception. I am literally the only exception that he has ever made, because I am younger. I am the opposite of older women. So one of my triggers is, even though I know that he never means it in this way, every time he says that, I always go for older women. But Janet's the exception. I don't want to hear it. I can't, because it plays too much into my insecurity. Irregardless of the fact that coming this December 19th of this year, me and Chris have been together 15 years already, okay? But when he says things like that, or when he's saying things like, I have 2 wives, and he feels the need to say this to Paige, who is Norma's daughter, that I wish he wouldn't have said anything at all, because he did it on Norma's birthday, and we were all trying to have a good time, and they says something like that. He doesn't mean any ill intent, but it hits me in that way, and then I have to shut up. I can't say anything, because if I do, then he's going to get mad at me, and we're going to get into another pointless argument. I don't want to hear it. I don't see anything funny whatsoever about other people thinking he had 2 wives. I understand that he's already explained to them that that is not the case. I'm his wife. Norma is a friend. Okay? That's it. I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear him bringing up his exes. I try not to bring up mine for this very reason, because it's a trigger for me. And when it's a trigger, it makes it more of a challenge for me to not be hurt or upset by it, even though I know Chris is not trying to hurt or upset me every time he says it. I am simply saying it is a trigger for me. Can you please try to find another way to say these things, or don't say them in my presence, because I don't need the stress. I don't need the stress. I don't want to be in another argument that could have been avoided if there was a better understanding. So this is me trying to help him understand where I otherwise feel like I miserably fail, because every time something's bothering me and I try to talk about it with him, a lot of times it ends up causing us to have an argument, and he wonders why I shut up and shut down. Because if 9 times out of 10, when I try to tell him what's bothering me and he constantly talks over me, he constantly interrupts me, because he has his own way of seeing things, as I have my own way of seeing things. And I have been trying for 14 years to have a better understanding, to develop a better understanding between him and I, so that these things can be avoided, because we should be able to sit down and talk things out without one getting upset over the other, or one being triggered by the other. So step 1, I need to write down my triggers. Step 2, I don't know that I can even at this point give Chris any other way to say things when he's trying to talk about something for whatever reason. And I have never said that anytime he brings up an ex, or anytime he brings up the 2 wives thing, all I'm saying is, this a trigger? Can you please not say it around me? Okay. I'm not telling you to stop being you. Okay. Because that's, it's no right for any of us to tell the other to stop being themselves. Okay. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a trigger. And I don't need the stress, and I don't need the upset. I'm sorry that it is a trigger. I am working on it, and I'm sorry I have not resolved it yet. I don't know when or if I will. All I know is I have been struggling for 14 years to try and find a middle ground that Chris and I can both stand on as a couple, and be able to, what I feel, communicate successfully. When issues come up, whatever they be, whenever they be, that we can sit down as a couple and talk them out without talking over each other, interrupting each other, or, triggering each other further, because, you say this way, and it makes me feel this. You say this way, and it makes me feel this. Okay, so this needs to stop. We need to find another way. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking. That's all I could hope from anybody. Okay. In a situation like if it was somebody else I was dating, same thing. If you don't have that communication, then you're lost, because you end up getting locked in a vicious cycle, an endless vicious cycle of triggering and hurting each other more than you can love and understand each other. So every time a bomb is dropped in one of our laps, I'm the one that feels the worst of it. I mean, I'm literally sitting here right now shaking, because all of this, like I said, I feel like just a bunch of shit is crashing down on my head and I can't take it. I'm trying very hard to keep my shit together right now and not just break down and start crying again, which is just going to make everybody else sad, and I don't want to do that. But on a lighter note, and to try to keep things as positive as I possibly can at this point, I have a plan. Me and Dr. Questel have a plan in place that when I go in next to see him on January 10th, which will be the day after my birthday, I've got a weight loss program that we're going to be setting up, some kind of therapy, hopefully, that I'll be able to do to not only help my fibromyalgia, but to help my lower back as well because of the chronic lower back pain. There's also some type of arthritis that I suffer. I don't know what it is. I can't even put a physician's term on it right now, because until some tests are run or whatever they got to do to determine if I do in fact have, some type of arthritis on top of everything else, then, okay, if I do, what is it and how can we fix it? How can we, what is there medicine? Is there therapy, or what way are we gonna?
I do have to interrupt. What time is your appointment on the 10th? Oh, wait, yours is January. Never mind. I got
Exactly.
one on the 10th, but it's December.
One of the things that I'm going to also be setting up as soon as possible, because at this point I'm at a dead end. I don't know what else to do. I just know that what I have tried so far, nothing's working. So the last recourse left to me is to set up counseling again for myself, so I can go in and I can talk about these issues. I can hopefully work out a plan with my counselor, how I can get through them better, and not only get myself through them, but Chris as well. Because nothing would make me more happy than for us to be able to show the world, for all intents and purposes, yeah, we do love each other, because we got our shit together now and we can talk about things without causing upset. So there's weight loss, there's therapy that I'm going to be doing, there's counseling I'm going to be doing, developing, healthier, better eating and drinking habits, which I've already been trying to do. But again, it's one of those, when the stress levels are this high like they are right now, I have to check myself to make sure that I don't overdo it and start filling myself with a bunch of sugar, because it's a coping mechanism. Because overrunning my body with sugar is not going to help a situation. It's not going to make everything all better again. It's not going to make it go away. It just gives you a way to candy coat shit that you shouldn't be candy coating in the first place. You should deal with it. You should take it by the horns, take the bull by the horns and go, you are not going to do this to me anymore. This shit stops now. Meaning, Janet, this is the way you used to react to things. Okay, that's in the past. Don't do that anymore. When you see yourself doing that, stop, think, redirect. Okay, nope, that's the old me. That's the old way of thinking. No, stop. Think about it a minute. Give myself another possible path to take that is not fueling that dragon that I'm trying to put to rest behind the big iron doors with the big padlock that nobody has a key to, because I made sure they were all destroyed, okay? Back to Kentucky and the happy. Once I'm down there, yes, exactly. And that's why I've been trying to do it less. I'm not there yet, but I keep trying. And I have to at least give me that. I keep trying. Yeah, exactly. So I need a support system. I know I have it with you. I know I have it with Brooke. I'm sure Chris will be, he'll try to help as well. But a lot of this, I also know and realize, as much as I love all of you, and I know you got my back, a lot of this shit I got to do on my own, because that's just the only way it's going to work. I have to do this on my own. I owe myself this much because of what I suffer every day. Every time I go over to see my mom, I have to put on a smile and make everything okay when it really isn't, So I'm hoping the move will be good and it'll be more positive for them, and that it'll give them a new start. And I'm hoping also that some of the good that will come out of this is that Chelsea will say, yeah, we're working on the plans already, Grandma or Aunt Janet, to start getting my dad down here as quickly as possible. Because, and I'm still hoping at this point that in the legal sense, they, that these people are saying they have to be out by December 8th. No, you can't do that. You got to at least give them 30 days, at least. And if I have to get on the phone with Jerry Ziegler myself and point that out, and I also have to get on the phone with Toby and point that out, I will. Because everybody's plate's already full. We don't need more toppling on top of it and making the plate crash to the floor, and then everything's everywhere again. And then what do you got? You got more of a mess you got to deal with. Some of the positives when I'm down there this next week in Kentucky is because I don't know, like how busy Chelsea has been with her business. I don't know how much she's even been able to do with it at this point. I won't know until I get down there, because they're coming and getting me Monday night. So by the time we get down there, it's going to be really late. I would imagine. I mean, Chris might know more about that than me. But Holly was asking if we have a landlord and tenant advisory board in Ohio. Chris, he tends to be more informative about that stuff than me. He knows more about that kind of stuff. I really don't know. I would imagine we do somewhere. It's just a matter of finding them and, gauging the situation and sharing it with them so that they can see how they can help. But I think that whatever, until we get over there tomorrow, where really there's a lot we're not going to know yet. But once we can fit some more of the missing pieces into the puzzle, then we'll go from there and we'll decide, okay, what's the best course of action here? But when I'm down there, I mean, if Chelsea's going to be real busy and she's going to be doing her business, I'm going to be helping with the kids while I'm down there. I will be babysitting for Paisley and giving her plenty of love and attention so that Chelsea can focus on her business. And I'm also... Yeah. So he answered for us there, Holly. Yes, we do have something like that, but they can just tend to be really slow. Yeah, and that's great. I'm glad that there is something like that out there, because I'm sure there's a lot of other tenants that go through far worse, than the situation that's been put before us right now. So. Okay, so yeah, we will definitely mention that to them tomorrow when we're over there, because while we're over there, the focus is going to be sorting stuff, throwing stuff away, deciding what's going to be packed, what's going to be taken, with into the new place and stuff like that. So I don't know like how many hours we're going to be able to devote to this tomorrow before either myself, Chris, or both are so exhausted. It's like, I'm sorry guys, but this is all we can do today. If that's 3 or 4 hours, then they're just going to have to take that 3 or 4 hours and be happy. Because if that's the best we can do, then that's just the best we can do. Because again, we don't need any more stress already on the table that's on top of what's there now. So, in light of Michael reassuring me that Carl knows everything and that he knows that Toby doesn't want him at the new place. Okay, that issue's been dealt with. Thank you, gods. I'm glad, because that, even a little bit brings the levels down. But I just hope that Carl I hope that his focus becomes getting his own shit packed, getting his own stuff sorted, getting his own stuff thrown away, that there's really no reason for him to be dragging all the way down to Kentucky, which we don't even know how many trips it's going to take them. they just happened to be in the house when it was sold here in the States. That doesn't really give them any rights there. Yeah, he's probably right there. So, there's a lot of unfairness, with this whole thing. And I just hope that somehow we can all come through it and be okay. Yeah, exactly. We can only do what we can do. And, we know, once we've reached our limit for the day, then that's all that they're going to get. Yeah. And, because, okay, on the one hand, the lighter side of things, they don't have to deal with Naomi anymore. Naomi no longer owns the house, thank gods. But the new tenants, I am very disappointed in at this point, because I think it's unfair of them to expect them out in 5 days. I mean, but again, it's beyond my control. There's really only a limited amount of what we can do to help, in any way. A lot of it, Jim and Mom are just going to have to deal with themselves. I will try to get Stephanie off by herself here soon or tomorrow, or I don't even know yet, and say, Stephanie, if even though Jim's, I'm sure wants you to be able to move over there with them, if it's against Mom's wishes, honey, you better just don't put yourself through it. Don't put Mom through it, please. Try to find another place to go, because it's not worth the consequences that are most likely going to transpire if you do move with them, knowing that Mom does not want you there. That she doesn't like you. She's never liked you, irregardless of the fact and the times when Stephanie has tried to help Mom by doing stuff, cleaning over there at the house and, trying to, like, if Mom needed anything to eat or drink and Stephanie happened to be up or whatever, then she could get her whatever she needed. I don't know. Do you know, babe? Because I don't even know how long it's been. Since the house was sold, I don't remember exactly what day. It's been over 30 days. Okay, it was back in the beginning of November. So yeah, it's been over 30 days. So okay, so see, at least we have that clarified. Okay, that's one more thing we can take off the plate now, and it's not so heavy, because I didn't even know that it had already been 30 days. So I guess in that sense, the tenants are within their rights to say, you got 5 days, you got to get out. I don't know, guys. I'm not a realtor. I don't know how that stuff goes. I couldn't even begin to tell you how that stuff goes, let alone be able to speak from a perspective of a landlord that I'm not. So I can only hope then that while I'm down in Kentucky, and have faith that the help will be provided, whatever that means, or however people that ends up being, however many days it takes to get them moved over there, it will be given. And I hope by some miracle we can do it by the 8th, because I don't want to see Mom and Jim lose any of their stuff. And I understand, Jim wanting Stephanie to go with them and this and that, but he really needs to stop thinking so selfishly. And he needs to think more along the lines of, that's not fair to Mom, what he's expecting. Okay. It's not fair to Mom for him to continue. Yeah, he's watching the live stream. Because he's kind of trying to help, like, fill in a lot of the blank spots I can't, because Holly and Brooke are both on. So,
I can't get this.
Oh, okay.
He didn't came in yet, did he, Pearl?
No, I don't think.
I don't know. Is the thing out there? It doesn't look like it, so I don't
Chris,
know.
what time Pearl come in?
I thought he usually don't come in until I thought it was 7. So I don't know. The only thing you can do is knock on his door and see if he answers. I don't know.
Did.
Well, if he didn't answer, then either he's there and don't want to be bothered, or he's not home yet. I don't know.
And I want to get him his stuff. Huh? Yeah, with you. I said with you. He's not your I was only kidding with him, okay?
Yeah, I'm not even going to dignify that with a chuckle.
I said I was only kidding with him.
Our friend Harold, he works at Donato's, and yeah, exactly. And I mean,
I got
Yeah.
some Kool-Aid.
yeah,
Pack of
I
Kool-Aid.
agree. You know, I know it's not. I don't like the way Mom and Jim are doing things because they're not in their right thinking. I really have to say they're not in their right thinking. Yeah. See you later. I just want it to stop. I just want it to be over. Yeah, he's right there, Holly. You know, that's another thing too that wasn't fair on the part of whoever is the ones that, if it is the new owners that decided they have to be out in 5 days. Yeah, it's totally their own doing. It really is. So you can understand where I'm coming from when I say, you know, I really don't, at this point, I really don't even want to go over and help them. But I will, because I'm the better person. I have to overlook a lot of the stupidity and shit that they're doing and the way that they're thinking, because they're not thinking. They should have been packed. They should have been ready to go all the way back to the very day that it was officially made known to them that the house was sold. Yeah, exactly. So because they didn't take the necessary steps, see, this just further reiterates how badly Jim and Mom's brain functioning is failing, because it's almost like they're kind of more detached from reality than they should be. Okay? They're trying to candy coat shit where it should not be candy coated. Yeah. Yeah, they really should have. Yeah. So back to Kentucky, and once again, my attempt at trying to balance things out, because it's really, really hard for me at this point to not tip the scale and just go completely to the negative. I'm trying to balance this out. When I go down there to Kentucky, I'm going to be talking to Chelsea about a lot of stuff, just, you know, even stuff that has nothing to do with Carl or anything that's happened in the last few hours, but just ideas that I've come up with that maybe will help their household run more smoothly and help everybody to get along better. Yeah. Yeah, and sadly at this point I feel like once again they would just automatically assume, before they tried to take it upon themselves to make someone power of attorney, they're going to try to put this in our lap too. That being a power of attorney for them right now would be very, very, it would add to the stress. It would just add to the stress. And you know, they should not assume that Krista's going to do one thing or another without asking him first, because they do both tend to have a bad habit of volunteering for stuff before asking him if he's okay with it. So when they do that kind of stupid crap, you know, it once again falls upon me to help everybody understand things from every perspective, in the sense that, like, if they're volunteering Chris for stuff that he don't want to do, that he did not agree to, that they didn't even so much as ask him to do, they just automatically assumed he was supposed to do it. Yeah. No, she wouldn't. And that's going to be another hurdle that, we may be able to overcome or we may not be able to overcome, because my mother has always been absolutely 100%. She does not like doctors. She does not like hospitals. She does not like taking medicine unless it's something that if a doctor says you take this or die, then she might take it, but she's going to bitch about it the entire time. Yeah, we're already a power of attorney for Michael, our son. But I'm just right now, Holly, I'm just playing it by ear. I'm trying to weigh options and see what's going to be the best outcome for everybody. But I'm so screwed up over all of this that right now I'm you see how hard I'm trying to put things on a more positive scale, because I can't do this. I can't do this. This has been thrown in my lap too many times, things just like this. And too many times I have bent over backwards to help my family only to get stabbed in the back by them at every turn. That doesn't mean that I'm suddenly going to stop, but you better believe I want to sometimes. I want to just be like, you know what? Fuck them. It's on them. It's not my problem. Yeah. Me and Chris, some time ago, I don't even know a time frame really. He would know better. Me and Chris have already taken over Mom's medical stuff, okay? But when it comes to trying to get her to even go to a single doctor's appointment for any reason, all she wants to do is bitch about it the entire time. I mean, the whole way over there, the whole way back. Well, I really don't want to do this. And, it's times like that. I love my mother, but I wish I had a piece of duct tape to say, Mom, if you don't knock it off, I'm gonna duct tape your mouth shut. Because you need to stop being so damn prideful, and you need to realize that if you don't do these things, you're going to die. Do you want to die? Do you really want to put Michael through that when he's stuck in that place and can't even see you? I would think not. Knock the shit off. No, they're not. Holly, in light of the fact of the heavy responsibility already on Jim's shoulders of he keeps the bills paid, okay? Him and Mom have the same, basically you might say the same arrangement that me and Chris have, except it's opposite, kind of not opposite, but Mom pays all the rent most of the time. I pay all the rent here, but Chris pays all the bills. He pays the primary, he pays the internet, he pays the phone, he pays for the gas and the electric and the water and sewage and all this other crap, okay? I only pay the $465 that it costs for rent. But I'm thinking possibly one of the reasons why maybe they got evicted was I was just reading what Chris said, and he's right. That because they've been together so long, to a point, he may be considered her caregiver. But, a lot of times, Jim will go out and it's almost like he will make up excuses, and he will probably, I wouldn't put it past him to outright lie to my mother and say that he's got to go do a bunch of stuff for the church just to get away from her for a few hours because it's the only time he gets any peace. Because Jim, it's become more difficult for even Jim. Every day is a struggle for him as well, to live under Mom's roof, to live by what she considers her rules, and how dare he ever think to want to have love or anything like that because she don't want her bill payer walking out the door. Yeah, and we may have to. That may come down to what has to happen, and I'm just not. I'm not looking forward to it, and I hope it doesn't end up landing me in the hospital because I can't keep doing this. In 52 years, I have sacrificed more for my family than I could ever express, and it never stops. And as badly as they have done me, as many times as they have let me down, as many ways as they have hurt me, I still am there for them as much as I can be. Yeah. And, you know, Krista's right there too. They're set in their ways. They're of the age now that, you know, kind of mom's idea is, you know, she wants to be the center of attention all the time. She, when I would go over there to visit her, Carl, and Jim, she would get pissed off at me if she felt like I wasn't giving her, not anybody else, her the allotted amount of time she feels that I should give her. Like I'm supposed to ignore everybody else there and only focus on her as if she was the only one in the room. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. You know, I go there to see my brother, I go there to see Jim, and I go there to see Stephanie, and 9 times out of 10 when I go to see Stephanie, she's not even there. So, I mean, I feel bad for Jim because he's never going to know love. He's never going to be able to be happy with another woman because mom's not going to stand for it. She refuses to let him go. She has made him her fucking property, and she doesn't care who likes it and who doesn't, including him. He's never going to love her in the way she wants him to. He's never going to stop feeling the way he does towards me because irregardless of how many women walk through the door, his focus is always going to be on me because I'm the only one that he's going to be able to see and actually interact with that mom will allow because I'm her daughter. So for now, going down and spending a week in Kentucky, I'm just going to try to focus on as many positives down there as I can and help as much as I can while I'm down there. And, hopefully give them some ideas, maybe some inspiration of some things they can try themselves or, make up altogether entirely different than what I suggest. But even if I can inspire them to choose a different path and be able to, yeah. And then there's that. Yeah. Thanks. I just hope that I can continue to find the strength to get through whatever is going to slap me in the face next and not buckle under the pressure. Yeah, I don't fucking know, and I don't really fucking care. Let them goddamn shoot each other. It's less than we got to worry about. There's gunshots going off outside the fucking window again. Whoa. Oh, okay. It's a different one. I thought it was. I was just checking to see it. I was sort of a random. I was wondering why it's like, wait a minute. I clicked on because the background stuff that I had playing. I clicked on it because I couldn't remember if it was still doing the like the one before what's on here now was to draw in money and abundance, I think, and something else. And I let it play itself out. And once it played itself out, because I have a playlist set up of the skied magic meditations, which a lot of times is what you hear going on in the background. And I always try to make sure it's a positive one that I'm allowing to play in the background so that when I'm live streaming, it helps all of us in light of the situation. It helps to balance out the energy. Yeah. And thank you for that too, Holly. And you're right. And, so I realize that there's only so much I can do. There's only, so much any of us can do. But, Mom and Jim in that situation, they got to start owning up and they got to start taking responsibility where it's due. And, the fact that I am so loved, that's one of the few things that helps me keep going every day, because I'm loved by so many. And, when Chelsea was talking to me earlier on the phone, I don't remember if it was today or when, but when we were talking about Monday, she said, everybody misses you down here, Janet. They want you to come back and they keep asking me when you're coming down again. I'm like, oh, I said, you guys are going to make me cry. But at least it would have been happy tears because see, even in just the couple of times that I've been down there so far, I already know that I'm loved down there. And that gives me more inspiration and motivation to try and get down there as much as I can before the weather turns so bad that I don't even want them on the road to come and get me. And I'll be like, no, you guys are not coming to get me. I love you, but no, because I don't want the stress of something happening to you when you're trying to come and get me, because then I'm going to feel like it's my fault. So please don't. If they want to come on when I'm doing a live stream, just like I do for you guys and stuff, they can always see me this way. They can always interact with me this way. They can always talk with me this way. So, when I get down there, that's something I'm going to make sure they all know. And it's like, look, guys, I'm not pressuring you because I'm definitely not trying to pressure anybody. That if you guys want to join my YouTube channels and you want to be able to have me in your life more, which I would love that, come and join both of my channels, subscribe, hit the bell icon, hit the like button, make a comment if there's a particular video that helped them in some way or inspired them in some way, let me know. And I honestly, every live stream I do, I never check the comments. I'm such a dummy head. But I never check the comments, and I've got so many on here. I wouldn't even know where to begin now. So just wiping sleep out of my eyes. Why there's sleep there in the first place, I don't know, but I felt crusty shit. So it's like, okay. So when I'm down there, I'm going to try to, equalize my time between, spending time with Chelsea, spending time with the kids, and trying to come up with some very doable, very realistic plans of action that, they can put into place however they see fit, because I want them to be able to live in harmony as much as possible. And if there's anything I can do to help and inspire that, then I'm going to do it, because I know the hell that I go through every day. And you guys have seen enough of my YouTube streams, I've been through hell and back. And, I'm surprised that I haven't taken ownership of it, because it's like, I might as well say I'm the devil and I own fucking hell because I go through it enough. Because I try so hard to help, even when I know I can't always. It's maybe not even my place a lot of times to try and help, but because I am the way I am and I love the way I do, I'm going to keep trying to help. I'm going to keep trying to fix things, and somehow through it all, try to balance myself out to where I don't end up in the hospital, because I just completely lose it one day and have a breakdown that I might not come back from. God's willing, that will never happen. But I'll tell you, with what I've been through so far, I am really surprised I haven't broken yet. And you saw me, you guys saw me earlier. I was actually crying because I was so messed up thinking that, okay, great. Now Michael's going to be mad at me because he didn't fully understand a lot of what was going on until Chris talked with him. Once that happened, then he was insistent. He's like, I want to talk to Mom. I need to tell her that I'm not mad at her, that I understand now. Everything's okay. breathe, relax, whatever. But I just hope that, Carl and Tina have a good visit down there with everybody. And when Carl comes back Monday, me and Chris, most likely we're going to be still over there at that time, or maybe we'll be done with the day by then. I don't know. Because if Carl's not going to be rolling back into town or back into 202 Santa Maria Lane until 4:00 that afternoon, then we're either going to still be helping pack and move shit, or we're going to be like, sorry, we're done for the day. We've been doing this for 4 hours. We're going home. You guys are on your own. But I know that Toby will make sure they have the help they need, even when we can't be part of that help. So. Well, at this point, to give everybody a chuckle, I'd say, I need a drink. How about you guys? I don't have anything to drink, though, except the pop that I'm about to go get. Because I haven't, I've been trying to make myself drink my water.
Try the other root.
You mean the root beer that I've already taken a drink of? When you've had the first one, you let me have a drink of it.
Not that one. Try
The other root beer?
No sugar. It's made with maple syrup.
Okay, but I whatever. I was just going to get me a Coke, but he wants me to try this new root beer one that's maple root beer. It's some kind of new one that we tried.
Not new.
Well, it is to me in the sense that this is the first time we've drank any of them. I was just going to get me a Coke, but he's like, no, try this other one. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't care. It's pop. I'll drink it. I have to watch this thing because I have to pour it kind of slow because otherwise it foams up and makes a mess. It's by something called Sprecher, Sprecher. And it says maple root beer craft soda made with pure maple syrup. Whatever. Pop is pop.
Oh, my head hurts.
Trying to get the foam to go down.
The hole in my head hurts.
And what do you expect me to do about it?
I don't know.
He got a biopsy done on his, he had some kind of mass or something on the side of his head. And he had a biopsy done on it today. And now the pain, they gave him the painkiller when they did it, is worn off. So now the pain is, probably feels like someone's taking an ice pick and going, yam, yam, yam.
No, more like a drill bit, because that's basically what they use, is a hollow drill.
Right. Well, at least it wasn't, anything life-threatening, so. Because ever since I first noticed that spot, because it's like real close to his temple on the right side of his head, like it was like around this area. And he had a doctor's appointment today where he had to, they biopsied it, and they're waiting for some results from the biopsy or such and such. And at some point in the future, it's probably going to most likely be determined that he's going to have to go in and get surgery for it. But he's had this thing, I don't even know how long. I just remember when I first noticed it myself, you know, I tried not to be like overly concerned, or I tried not to like start nagging him or something about, you really should get that checked, because I could tell him that all day long, and until he finally decides to do it himself. Yeah, so do I. Because, you know, like some of the things that scare me about having a spot like that close to your temple is that if it was something life-threatening, then that would definitely not be an easy thing to deal with either, because now I'm going to have to watch somebody die, and I just could not handle that right now. I'm just trying to like go quiet, you know, a little bit too, to, you know, further calm myself down and keep myself from, you know, getting all worked up again, which is not going to help the situation. Just going to make it worse. I hate when I get a stray hair like that somewhere that, you know, I go to like itch my face or something, and then I feel something like brush across it. I'm like, it feels like a hair. So then I drive myself crazy trying to find it. Well, as far as the scalp condition, it turns out that at least in part, a lot of what's going on is I do in fact have some type of bugs in my head that at first we thought was lice, but was able to determine it is not. And according to Chelsea, who I spoke of, explaining what the critters look like, and that my head didn't start itching until the day after I slept on Alyssa's pillow, which is one of the girls down there at Chelsea and Justin's. It's one of Justin's daughters by another marriage. And I slept in her bedroom one night because she wasn't there. And I slept on her pillow and everything. I didn't think that there was any reason to be precautious, and I wish I had, because the next day my head started itching, and Chelsea claims that it's some kind of weird flea that is the type of fleas they have down there in Kentucky, which I can't really say yay or nay either way, but I will be taking this bottle with me that in the bottom, you won't be able to see it probably, but I don't know how well you can see all the little black specks. That's how many I've dug out of my head already. So, bed bugs, I don't know. Possibly. I do know, in fact, that bed bugs, the males, do happen to have a long, elongated body, because these are long and black, and that's about all I can really tell you about them. Drop my chapstick on the floor. If it's bed bugs, it's a new one on me, because it was my understanding that they didn't like human hair, so they would never, in fact, infest a human head. I've been bitten by them other places for sure, but all I can tell you is these things are weird. I've never seen anything like them. Chelsea claims they're one thing. Chris doesn't know. I don't know. I just know that they're driving me up a goddamn wall. And I wish I could find something to combat them, but not knowing what they are, I don't very well know the type of stuff I'm going to have to use to fucking kill them. So that they're out of my head, not giving me grief anymore. And I really try to refrain from doing any scratching and shit, but I can't help it because it's just so bad. I can't just ignore it and not scratch it. And every time I scratch it, I'm just irritating the scalp further. I'm not helping it. I'm not helping the situation. So every one of them that I do dig out of my head, whether I can tell that they're moving or not, I put them in this bottle and they immediately sink to the bottom. So they then drowned. So when I go down this week, I'm going to show Chelsea, this is what I've been digging out of my head. So you tell me what you think they are, because I have no fucking clue.
Like I said, we're going to take that with you when you go see.
Yes, I remember you saying that earlier. I did not forget. I just simply added that I'm going to also take them down when I go to Kentucky to show Chelsea so we can hopefully figure out what the fuck they are. So we know how to get rid of them. I'm not seeing the doc tomorrow, honey. I'm not seeing the doc until January 10th.
She means for the appointment tomorrow.
For the appointment tomorrow. There is no appointment for me. Oh, yeah, right. Yes, I will. See, my brain had to go back and go, what? I will definitely take it with me and that way show the doctor this is what's in my fucking head. What are they and how do I kill them? Not that either of us has noticed. I don't think the cats have had them. And when Chris went for his biopsy today, he had them check his head and they didn't see any in his head. So hopefully I'm the only one that does have them. Because I wouldn't wish these on anybody. I just hope that Norma doesn't have them either because, I mean, her hair is even darker than mine. Minus the gray that's in her head. She has dark black hair. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, as far as we know, the cats don't have them, but I don't know like how easy it would be to determine that.
I haven't seen any on the cats.
Chris said he hasn't seen any on the cats.
Bella's the only one I haven't really checked real well because with his fur, it's hard to get down to skin to check.
Yeah, because so much of his fur is black. Talking about Bella. Yeah, me too. Because I'll tell you, man, these things. They're fucking driving me nuts. They're almost fucking worse than goddamn head lice because they still bite. They still make me itch.
Bella's hard to check because Bella has that 2-layer fur. It's got the really long stuff on the outside and then the really fluffy stuff on the inside. And his particular breed is called a Maine Coon because they were bred for that type of environment. Really cold winters. So his fur is thick. Come, Brad. Yes, all right. I'll give you some milk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, easier said than done. I mean, as much as I would love to check the cats, they would not be, they would not be very happy with us if we even tried to check them. All I do know at this point, and I can say for absolute certainty, is my head did not start itching until the day after I slept on that bed, on that pillow, and did not do anything to protect my head in the first place because I didn't think that there was a reason to.
And you really think it would bother me that it would bother the cats if I did check? I already tried checking. I mean, they don't like the eye burger thing, but who's the one who does the eye burgers?
Hey, Squeaky. Meow. Daddy already gave you your treats. You ain't getting any more. Carmela's over here crying at my feet again because she wants more treats.
Hey. Oh, no, you don't.
Yeah. Carmela, our
This-
squeaky booba.
This is the one you've probably seen the least.
Carmela. Hello, baby.
She's not really a lap cat.
Nope, she's not really a lap kitty.
She likes her pets, but she don't like laps.
Yep, she likes her pets. No lap. She's not a lap kitty, really. I mean, very rare occasions, like sometimes when I'm sitting here on the couch, she'll lay beside me or, she'll lay across my lap, but almost never. So I'm not going to force cats to lay in my lap if they're not normally lap cats. Kalika is my lap cat. She's the one that she's the one that is on my lap more than any of the others. So.
Done.
I mean, I even put the rest of the blue-black hair dye that I had. I put that in my hair yesterday. And I think it maybe killed a lot of them because the chemicals and stuff are harsh enough in the hair dye that it killed a lot of them. And I mean, I've been finding, I think, more dead ones than I have live ones, but every one of them that I pull out of my head that looks to me like it's one of them, I just automatically put them in that bottle. So that even if they are dead, I make sure that they're dead by, seeing the body sink to the ground or to the bottom of the bottle. Oy, yeah. Anyway. What a day, huh? Good gravy. Yeah, the lice comb. Ow. Probably, but my hope is tomorrow when we when I go to my appointment, I'll take the bottle with me, show them what they are, see if they can help me determine, what they are, and therefore give me some stuff that'll get rid of them. I'm not going to dignify that with an answer. Because with what Alicia already went through of doing that very thing, I'm not going through it. Because there was a while back, Alicia shaved her head bald at the prompting of some of her peers, young people her age, that she said she immediately regretted it as soon as she did it. And now her hair is slowly growing back, but it's about the length mine is right now, give or take a little more, a little less.
Hey, you. I can't see the computer with you standing in front of it. You block a 27-inch monitor. That big, yes.
Because sometimes, some of this stuff that I dig out, it's like more like skin, like a severe case of dandruff. But anytime I dig something out of my head that's dark, like black or brown or whatever, then I just try to kind of look at it as good as I can without my glasses on, determine if it's one of those fucking bugs. And if it is, then I can either like squish it between my fingers and make sure it's dead, or, open the bottle and take the sprayer out and put them down in the bottom with the rest. I've been sitting here sweating, and because of whatever kind of material this top is made from, I'm also getting chilled. What is that's causing the problem? Yeah, I will definitely suggest that to him tomorrow.
Knock my glasses off, buddy.
Yeah. When I'm at the appointment tomorrow, I'll definitely, I'll try to make sure I brush my hair before we go and get all the tangles out of it as best as I can. Because I'm tender-headed. So if the doc starts taking a lice comb through my head, then he's going to have to be extremely careful in doing so, or I'm going to be screaming bloody murder if he pulls too hard on my scalp. Trying to get the lice comb through it.
I know you want out.
Because if I can save myself the money to have to go out and get a lice kit, I'm going to do it, because I have no money to spend on anything like that. And when I'm down there, another thing I'm going to be asking is, because like I said earlier, they have, Justin has like a couple of other properties down there, including a couple of trailers. So I'm going to see which of the trailers, one, that are available, meaning nobody else is living in them, nobody else is renting them or anything like that. See what kind of shape they're in, and if it's something that's plausible and doable. But I'm going to ask them if it would be okay if during the times when I'm down there, especially when I'm down there for like a week or more, there's going to be times when I'm going to need some time to myself, So it would be nice to be able to have my own trailer to go to, because the majority of the rest of the time that I'm there, I'm probably going to be down in the house with everybody else anyway. Wonder how long the little butthead will be out this time before somebody opens the door and lets him in. And then he'll be running the halls again and roaming the halls and sleeping in the halls. Like he just feels like he owns this building, and he doesn't. Bella. I'm speaking of Bella.
He's a cat.
On the positives, again, tomorrow, during, like if we help them move a couple of batches over to the new place and stuff like that, I will definitely take some pictures of it and try to see if I can upload them on here somewhere. Or if nothing else, once we get them all moved in and start getting them settled, I'll see if I can do a live stream. And I'll live stream so you guys can actually physically see the house, on the off chance that I can't figure out how to upload the pictures. Okay.
Make him into a slideshow video.
But I definitely, I'll get some pictures and stuff so I can get them to you guys so you can see what it looks like. Ow, ow, ow. Ugh.
Right there.
Well, what time is my appointment tomorrow? Because we're not going to be able to probably go over and help them until we get done with that.
No, we're going to go over and help them. Your appointment's at 4:30.
Okay.
I told Jim we could help before and after. Said I'd see about trying to get you up and over there by 8 or 9. But he doesn't seem to be really. He just said sometime in the morning. Like us over there.
Great. So that's another early morning thing that I'm probably going to have to get up at 6 or 7 in the morning so we can be over there by 8.
What? 8 or 9.
Just plucked one of these fucking things off my shirt, so I was making sure it was dead. I don't do mornings very well. I'm not the morning person usually. Mm. So in light of the bomb being dropped in my lap today, I'm trying to think of some more positives to, focus on and talk about and everything. So that's part of the reason why I keep going quiet, because I'm trying to think of what else to say. Or oh. It's moving. Got another live one out of my head. That's why another reason why I keep digging. But I'm trying to dig as gently as possible, because the more of these fuckers I can dig out of my head, the better I'm going to like it. Because I definitely don't want to take this shit down there to them either. I don't want to fucking infect anybody with these fucking things.
That's where you got him, most likely they always have him here.
Well, even that being the case, that doesn't mean that I want to go down there and further fucking expose myself to them. So I'm definitely going to be glad that I'm going to have my bottle here so I can fucking squirt my pillow down with it and stuff before I go to sleep each night. It's my turn to go to the loo. Potty break. Ow. Change the top for one thing because I'm fucking sweating in it. Because I'm sweating in it, I'm getting chill.
Brooke just said tea tree would probably help a lot.
Yeah. Or if I could get tea tree, lavender, and peppermint and mix them together and put them in like a little spritzer thing, that would probably be help too. Because I know those are 3 signature scents that if these are in fact bed bugs of some type, they don't like those scents. So the 3 combined to me would be a pretty powerful thing to at least try. Okay. I'm back. I decided to go ahead and change into my sleepy clothes because I'll probably be going to bed here soon. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, because I don't know if you heard me or not, Brooke, 3 signature scents that I know for sure bed bugs do not like is tea tree, peppermint, and lavender. So if I had a decent sized bottle of each of those essential oils, then I could make me up batches of this stuff with those 3 in it, water it down maybe a wee bit, to make it go a little further, but make the scent strong enough that it does its job and it keeps them away. So yeah, I have lots of options to play around with for sure. And I will definitely explore quite a few of them, explore quite a few of them until I find one that really works. Hey, Holly. Yeah, I just went to the loo myself. Had to use the bathroom and decided to change into my sleeping clothes because I definitely will probably be going to bed here in a couple hours anyway, especially since we're going to have to get up fairly early in the morning to get over to Mom's by 8 or 9 so we can, get the most done and get as much of the stuff moved as we can and stuff, packed and sorted and all that. And my doctor appointment isn't until 4:30 tomorrow, so we're going to spend a few hours in the morning over there helping them and then go to my doctor's appointment and then decide if we want to go back over and help more or if we want to call it a day. And I'm not even going to worry about that until that time comes. So we'll see how we feel tomorrow.
like I got a hole in my head.
We already covered that. We know you got a hole in your head. Ow. Wow, can't believe it's only like 10 after 9 here. Seems much later. Hey, Kalika. Kalika! You're not gonna come up and see me? You're lost because mommy's leaving in like 2 days. Love you too, Holly. And go get your stuff done, sweetie. We understand. Every bit that I dig out of my head, I'm checking to make sure that if it's one of those fucking things, it's dead, even if it isn't. Especially if it's living and moving around, and I'm dumping it in the bottle. Well, I wish I could say that I'm looking forward to tomorrow, but I'm really not. I mean, the clinic, not so much as going over there and helping them and having to deal with the fucking shit storm that's going to be in play when I do get there. Because I'm going to have to listen to mom endlessly whining about all the woes that she's going through. Like nobody else is being affected by this. Yeah, but I never finished. I put the rest of the blue black in my hair, and then I turned around and, I left it in for like 30 minutes, and then I rinsed out the color and everything, and was hoping that I would, have this beautiful blue black. But then I decided to use this medicated shampoo that they gave me for this scalp condition. And I did that right on top of putting the hair dye on. And apparently, in so doing, when I rinsed that shampoo out, all the color came with it that I thought I had just put in my hair. So there goes another bottle of stuff wasted. Because I can't even keep it in my hair. Ow. Ow. I just hope the weather's not too bad while I'm down there. When I go down to Kentucky this time. Because if it's too cold to be outside, then I'm definitely going to probably be inside more than I'll be outside this time. I mean, like, I know that we'll all feel a lot better once we get them moved in. And I hope, in light of this, now that Carl will finally gauge the seriousness of the situation, he'll start making arrangements to start getting his stuff packed and sorted and thrown out and, start getting it moved down there to the hills before the weather and the roads get too bad. Because he kind of has no choice now. We're down to the bottom of the wire here. And it's like, shit or get off the pot, as they say. Get this shit done. Ow. Ow. Yeah. Yeah, I am. Don't, in light of everything, Brooke, I'm definitely trying to look, at the brighter side of things. And, I'm trying to focus more internally and mentally and stuff on, taking the trip down there Monday and, being able to have a decent amount of time with everybody this time. And, hopefully, be able to come up with some fun things to do together as a family so we can involve the kids too. I mean, as soon as I got off the phone with Chelsea, I started, packing. So that way, when Monday night comes, I'll be ready to go. And then when they pull up in the back and they honk the horn or whatever, then I'll look out and be like, okay, I bet that's them. And then I'll, start lugging my stuff downstairs because I'm going to be taking 4 pieces of luggage. And one of the pieces of luggage is strictly my magic bag, which, like any spell materials or anything like that I'm going to take with me, I put in that bag. Get off me, you damn bugs. Ow, ow. You gonna come up, Kalika? Or what? Or are you just gonna sit there and look at me?
Sit there and look at you.
Oh yeah, I will. I always, enjoy myself when I'm down there, and um the energy down there is usually better, more positive, and I can draw on the energy when I'm there, so it keeps me going while I'm there. But then come time to go home, by the time I get home, man, I'm wiped. But I would do it all again the next week and the next and the next if I could be so lucky as to get down there that often. But that's why it's so important to me to be able to stay down there if I can do it for a whole week. So since they're coming and get me on a Monday night, then I'll have them take me home like probably early afternoon Monday morning the next week. So that way I'm spending a full 7 days down there. And trying to determine if this is one of those fucking bugs, if it's moving or not. Well, this makes for interesting content, huh? Me sitting here digging up my head for hours. Oh, golly crap. Not to mention the additional me having to get used to the fact that everything I say, seconds later, I hear again on his computer in there, which is just weird to me to hear myself say the same thing twice. Ow. Ugh. This is some of the drawbacks of having long, thick hair like I do, because when stuff like this happens, it's fucking brutal. Because, I mean, I will fucking dig at my head and dig at my head to try and get as many of these damn things out of it as I can. Okay.
One of the happiest days in your family's life, a new puppy. But if that puppy's from Petland, they're probably from a puppy mill.
There we go. I decided to put on one of my pagan Celtic witchy mixes. And this is, as you know, my favorite song.
Gracious Hecate, sacred fire, call upon me this dark hour.
Of course, I think there's only a couple of songs, actual songs on here, and then it goes into like a live stream that I did a couple weeks ago. So if that happens, I'll have to probably switch to like my Celtic mix or something. It's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. Messing with the mask. I just wish this song was longer, but it's only like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that in some odd seconds. It's really weird. I wish I could get the words to it. If I had the words to it, I'd sing along with it.
Mistress of magic, thy name we praise as the moon enters her blackest rays. From dusk till dawn we honor thee, and as thou wilt, so mote it be.
Give this thing a minute, see if it's going to play any other tracks or if it's going to go into a live stream. This is another one to Hecate. Another favorite of mine. Yeah. Very true.
I stood out here once before, with my head held in my hands. For all that I had known of this place, I could never understand. On our hills, the fires burn at midnight, superstition, baby, air. Sparks fly as the fires burn at midnight. Stars are out and magic is here. I wished on the seven sisters bring you me wisdom of age. Oh, that's locked within the book of secrets. I long for the knowledge of the sage.
What?
On the hills, the fires burn at midnight. Superstition, baby.
I said watermelon juice is gone.
Why am I supposed to be surprised or something? Because if so, I'm not. Surprised there's any peach left. Yeah, I kind of figured.
So the sisters smiled to themselves, and they whispered as they shone. And it was from that very instant I knew I would never be alone. While on the hills, the fires burn at midnight. Superstition, baby, air. Sparks fly as the fires burn at midnight. Stars are out and magic is here. The stars are out and magic is here.
Tastes like root beer to me. It doesn't taste any different to me than the other root beer of these that I got to taste.
These stars were long forgotten, many faded and became ghosts. Still, my sisters glittered down from heaven, always there when I needed them most. And on the hills, the fires burn at midnight. Superstition, baby, air. Sparks fly, yes. The fires burn at midnight. Stars are out and magic is here. The stars are out and magic is here.
And since I'm going to possibly be there in Kentucky for 7 days this time, I definitely want to take one of those days and see if I can get them to take me up to the cabin so I can see it. Because I'm not going to be satisfied and I'm not going to be happy until I get to see that cabin at least once. So I've got to make sure that I take my Canon with me so I can take pictures with that, and just to help give me more of a sense of security and safety, and help me to feel more like I'm taking every measure possible to make sure that everybody that goes with me to take me up to the cabin so I can see it are equally protected as well. Before we go, I'm going to see about going into a light meditation. Ugh. I will probably see about channeling either some of my spirit guides, or depending on the circumstances, Hecate herself, Bast, maybe even a little bit of Aries, even if it's just a feeling of, okay, they are with me, and I have no doubt in my mind that they are with me. Therefore, every protection that we can put in place to keep our party safe for whatever energies might be up there, if we even go. Like I said, I'm going to try. But, I mean, if it can't happen, it can't happen. That's okay. There's always next spring or whatever. But I just really want to see this cabin. I really want to feel what the energy is like up there and see what I can pick up on myself. And if nothing happens, nothing happens. You know, we can enjoy a little bit of time there, depending on how long it takes to get there, because I don't know a definitive time. Like, I don't know if it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours, or anything like that. I won't know that until we get there. And I will try to talk with Chelsea about that on the ride down Monday night and see what they think, and see if we can't pick a day when the weather's going to be halfway decent, at least, so that we can have a good experience. And, you know, because I don't want to go up there, you know, if it's crappy weather and stuff. So let me make sure. Okay, what you're hearing now, Brooke, I don't know how well you can hear it because I turned the volume down to about half. This is a chant that somebody is doing for Hecate. Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hecate. Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hecate. He's saying Hecate. He's just saying it a certain way. Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hecate. See, it almost sounds like he's making the H silent, but Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hecate. Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hecate. It's pretty interesting, pretty easy. Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hecate. And this one, let's see, this chant will go on. Hang on. This one is an hour and 32 minutes and 20 seconds, this particular chant. So it's interesting. You know, it gives me some options of something that I can play if I can get myself in a quiet enough place where nobody's disturbing me and distracting me and there's a bunch of noise going on. That's why I plan on taking my Chromebook, my mouse that runs this Chromebook, and my power cord with me when I go down there. And I will try, if we can get a good enough connection, I will try to live stream while I'm down there, So that way it'll give you more of the family that you can at least see and start to get to know a little bit, okay? Until we can physically get you here. Hey, Kalika, you finally coming to see Mama? But it goes Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hikate. Aya, Kartia, Ikar, Hekate. So being able to get myself in a nice, decently deep meditative state and have this playing, then that's going to give me the best chance of being able to determine, one, will Hecate show up, which I'm sure she will. Two, once I explain the situation to her that we're about to go up and see the cabin and there's some uncertain energies up there that we're not sure what we're dealing with, would she please, please, please be willing to channel through me so that I can have the confidence that she is with us, and that everybody that's going up there is going to be safe, so that whatever energies are up there that we end up dealing with isn't going to be able to hurt anybody, because I'll have a very powerful, immortal, ancient, okay, that she'll make sure that everybody is safe. And the only way that I would really call Ares into it, which is the god of war, is if I felt like we needed that extra muscle. But I'm pretty sure with just Hecate alone, we should be fine. Yeah, because they do have Wi-Fi down there. And they've been able to help me hook my phone up to it when I've been down there. So in that respect, I should be able to do a decent live stream so that you can, kind of be down there with us, and be able to enjoy it. And I can, take you outside and show you all the beauty around me and show you the different houses that Justin owns and where his property line ends and just how beautiful it is there, period. And it'll be really, really, really nice to be able to spend a whole week down there and enjoy it, and also get a good idea of what it's like to live down there in the winter months when, things are harder to come by, and sometimes you might not always be able to get out to the store to get stuff, so you have to find other ways to keep groceries coming in the house and make sure that everybody has everything they need, while the harsh winter is blowing through. Because especially since we're going to be moving down to West Virginia, I feel like a lot of the weather is going to be, it's liable to have harsh winters and stuff too. So the sooner I can start getting my body used to that, getting my body acclimated to it so that it's like, oh yeah, I can do this, no problem, the better, because that's going to be the rest of our lives, when we're living down in West Virginia. So, you got to be able to successfully get yourself through the harsh winter months, if we do have harsh winters there, depending on where we end up moving down there. And, making sure that, everybody stocks up on stuff, long before any of that happens. So yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. And, it also, it makes for interesting content when, I'm adding my own creative way of live streaming by, helping you get to know the family and stuff a little bit. So that when we finally get you here, it won't be so, you'll be like, everybody will be familiar, Kalika, you were laying down fine. I don't know why you felt like you had to get up and start moving around again. Can't you just lay down and just stay that way? Why are you so restless? I'm going to have to sit this up here because every time she does this, I'm going to walk across your lap 1,000 fucking times, and I have the mouse sitting here on the arm of the couch. I don't want her knocking it in the floor. Come on. like I'm hurting you, silly cat. Yes, West Virginia is the goal place that we are pretty much. Chris is settled on. He wants to move to West Virginia. So, yeah, the new house, our new house, will be in West Virginia. And that's another positive to think about. What fun we're going to have with 40 acres of land. I'm finally going to have me a decent witch temple. I'm going to have a little, like, what I would call a witch cottage that I can go to once in a while when I want to get away from the main house and all the energy's there, but I'll just be several feet out the back door or whatever, you know, and that will be my place that nobody will be allowed to go to unless I invite them, because if they're going to bring negative energy into my sacred space, I'm not going to tolerate it. It's like either keep things loving and positive, but don't expect me to just let you in here anytime you want, because this is my private place and you'll be damn lucky if I invite you at all, because I would rather my energy alone be in that place than a bunch of other scattered energy that I have to deal with in the future and possibly have to get rid of and overinvest in a bunch of witch balls just to contain all the spirits. So, So Hecate, just let me say ahead of time that if this chant does bring you here, I'm not trying to call you here prematurely. So you really don't have to come unless you really want to. And if you do decide you want to come and hang out for a little bit, I can welcome that as well, because I want to talk to you about what I was just saying to Brooke here a minute ago about you possibly channeling through me before we go to the cabin, so that I can make sure that there's plenty of protection around me and everybody that's going to be going with me, because I want this to be a positive experience. I don't want it to become a life-threatening one or dangerous in any way, because if it's going to be dangerous and we could possibly be dealing with wildlife that we may have to end up taking out to save our own lives, then what kind of materials, what kind of weapons are we even going to be able to take with us, so that if it comes to that, we'll be able to defend ourselves. Last thing I want to do is kill an animal. But if something big comes at us, we may not have any choice. And I just hope that Bigfoot doesn't show up or something like that, if there actually is one up there, because I won't be able to know unless I can get up there far enough away from the house where they claim they have spotted Bigfoot before. And I will make sure I have Haldor with me, which again, Haldor is my Bigfoot spirit that's in this egg. I will make sure that I take him with me, and I will also talk to him, and I will call upon him during the meditation before we even get on the side-by-side to drive up there, because I don't want to ride up there on the quad with Chelsea, because my body weight is so much heavier than hers. I don't want to be crushed up against her and then like end up hurting her back worse than it already is. So Hecate, please bear with me. Again, if this chant draws you here and you really don't want to be here, or you don't think there's any reason, that's fine. You can leave. I'm not going to force you to stay. You know that. But I really would like some kind of a sign from you, if it does draw you, if you would be willing to do that and channel through me if we decide one of the days that I'm down there next week to make a run up to the cabin. So I can see it, take pictures, and see what kind of energies I can pick up on, see what kind of spirits I can pick up on, and through that be able to determine if we are safe enough to stay there, and if so, for how long, because depending on how long it's going to take to get to the cabin, we have to make that same amount of time to get back home. So like if any of the vehicles that we're going to be taking up there, which will be one, possibly both of the side-by-sides, and most definitely probably the quad, because I don't know if 4 of us are going. I don't know if 6 of us are going. I won't know until that happens. But with the 2 side-by-sides, you can fit 2 people in each of those. And with the quad, you can fit at least 1 other person on the back. And then, Chelsea most likely would be the one driving it, because I know I could drive a quad probably fairly easy, but I am nowhere near ready to be tooling around in the mountains on a quad right now. That would be something that I would feel more comfortable learning how to ride the quad, either up and down their road that goes by the house, or maybe go so far as go all the way down to the end of the road, go to the parking lot to the right of the road when you get to the bottom, drive around that, get used to, how much I have to turn the steering wheel or bars or whatever to get it to turn, left or right, and just kind of get an idea of, kind of find my own comfort zone of being able to drive the quad myself. To where, like, if there was somebody like Chelsea that was sitting behind me, I wouldn't be near as concerned about her possibly having to crush up against me, but I want to do it safely. I don't, like if she ends up, because her body weight's a lot less than mine, but if she ends up being forced forward, then we're going to have to make sure that it's not so much that it's going to throw me off or cause me to miss steer and then cause both of us to get hurt or something. So learning to drive the quad is, I'm not gonna be in any hurry to learn that right now. There's always the spring when the weather's going to be better, and I don't have to worry about possibly driving over a patch of ice that could cause me to drip, run off the road or down the frickin' into a ditch or something, which most likely if that happens, whoever's on the quad with me, or even if I'm just on it by myself, I don't want to end up breaking a leg or, causing some kind of severe some type of severe injury to myself that, somebody then has to, like Justin has to come down with his truck or something and, pick me up and then carry me back up the hill. And then we have to call the ambulance because now my leg's been crushed. So if we do go up to see the cabin, I am definitely going to ask that the side-by-side be taken as opposed to the quad, because I really don't see the reason behind why 5 or 6 of us necessarily need to go up there. But I'm not going to exclude anybody either, because while we're up at the cabin, somebody's going to have to stay down to the house with the kids, because kids, they're going to want to be up there with us too. And if we can't take any of them, or if we take one of them with us, then the other kids are going to be jealous because they're going to want to go too. So that's just going to cause more of a problem than it's worth. So we go up to see the cabin. I'm going to insist that it just be the adults that go. Because, during the spring and when the weather's warmer and everything too, then maybe we could like set it up to where we could maybe take a couple of the kids with us or something. And not as many adults would go, because I don't want the kids being in any danger either. So, but I really want to see this cabin. I want to see what the energies feel like there, and see with my witchy powers if I can better determine what type of entities are around there, or if it's just local wildlife that, if we don't want to have to end up killing something to save our own lives, then we might not want to hang around there a whole lot. Like certainly I would not want to get trapped up there and have to spend the night. Because I don't know. I mean, because if it came down to that, then I don't know that Hecate would be willing to channel through me the entire time. Because as crazy as a lot of people might think I am when I say this, doesn't mean that I'm not going to try it. If it can be determined at some point in the future that that cabin has in fact been abandoned, that the previous owners no longer go there, and that it's up for grabs, because if I can legally take that place and make it my own, I will. Doesn't mean that I'll necessarily just suddenly decide to move up there or anything like that, but it would be nice to be able to show appreciation for such a beautiful place, because I don't even know what shape this cabin's in. I don't even know how nice it looks or anything like that. I won't know that until we can get up there so I can see it. I also, while I'm there next week, I need to see if we can't find a way for me to either, I'll make sure I have my digital recorder, or if I have to have my phone on record while we do it, I'm going to have Chelsea play that sound for me, that we see if we can determine if it was actually possibly a banshee or some other type of entity that made the sound, or if it's something more realistic, like it's just the local wildlife. And because we didn't know what those sounded like until we did research, and I went on to the website that I went on to, and it said banshee calls, and it played several different ones. And there was one in particular that I kept, whenever it played, I said, that one right there. That's the one to me that sounds the most like the one that Chelsea played for me the last time I was there. Because all I can tell you is when she played that thing for me, I got cold chills. I literally got cold chills from head to toe, and I felt like it was definitely some type of entity. But I'm not going to scream banshee unless, one, it physically shows itself to me, which, two, I would absolutely love, but it would be also equally terrifying. And I don't want one whispering in my ear or touching me in some fashion and doing me some kind of harm. Thus, if I can't channel one of my spirits, or possibly Hecate, I don't know that I'm going to want to see it. But at the same time, I don't want my people to be in any kind of harm's way either by going up there, because if there are spirits up there that have taken over the cabin and they consider it their home and they live up there because nobody else does, I can't see, especially if the cabin turns out to be a really nice one and it's still in really good shape. It's open, because I asked them, I said, can you just walk in? They're like, yeah. They said they didn't even so much as lock the door. I'm like, what? Okay, well, that's odd, but okay, but I want to at least try to see what I can find out about it, if nothing more. And it would be kind of nice to have something like that, that I can disappear to once in a while when I feel the need, where I can literally get away from everybody, just be up there by myself, but only if I can work it out with the spirits that are there, whether it's regular wildlife, local wildlife, Bigfoot, banshees, or any others it might be. Unless I can live there in harmony with them through the help of my witchy powers and being able to put out offerings for them and stuff like that. Because if I'm going to do something like offerings, I will try to do it far enough away from the house that I can still see them decently, but they're at least several feet away from my house. Because I don't want every type of vermin, coming up there and eating the offerings when I put them out and then decide, ooh, let's go live in the cabin, because then that's when there's going to be a problem. But I'm telling you, I can't describe how it made me feel when I heard that, when she played that for me, other than it gave me cold chills. And I said, so that's what a banshee sounds like. But I mean, until I can absolute for certainty say if it's a banshee or if it's something else, to me, it is definitely something I've never heard before. And if we're going to do this and we're going to make this trip, that would definitely be something that I would prefer to do either in the early morning, not too early, but early enough that I can get up and be awake on my own, without any issue. And only, if we decide that, okay, if we're going to go up there, do we want to take some kind of a snackable thing with us and, something to eat and drink, or do we want to just go up there and tool around for a few hours, and then when everybody gets too hungry and thirsty to stay anymore, then we'll turn around and go back home, go back to the house. Again, cross that bridge when I get to it. I just hope that since I'm going to be down there a week, we'll be able to fit that into the schedule, and the weather won't be so bad and dangerous that even they say, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think we can safely make this trip, in which case I'll be like, okay, let's forget it then, and then we'll try to, we'll try to set up a future date where in the spring and summer where it's warmer and stuff, then we'll try and go up then. Because all they've really said is it takes a while to get there. And that's all they've really said. But it's like, well, what do you mean it takes a while to get there? Do you mean it takes an hour? Takes 2 hours? I mean, how long are we talking here? Because a lot of that is going to determine if I want to go at all. Because if it's too long just to get up there, then again, we have to make that equal amount of time coming back. So I don't want to go up there 4:00 in the afternoon if we're not going to be getting back until 9 or 10 at night, because I don't want to be in those mountains at night. I just don't. I guess. I mean, I know it needs to get eaten. I don't want it to go to waste, but
Not good again. I don't know what the hell I scratched myself on.
Sure it wasn't one of the cats?
No, that was me. Scratching myself on something.
I mean, but I'm already sitting here drinking pop, so. But, yeah, I mean, I guess I can try to get some kind of food on my stomach to get me through, hopefully get me through the night where I'm not waking up in the middle of the night because I'm starving. He's got this Black Forest cake for us. Sweetie, it's like after 2 there, your time. And we've been on here almost, whoa! If I don't knock everything on the floor, we've been on here almost 4 hours, just minutes away from 4 hours. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. I love you. Thanks for everything. And thanks for hanging so long. And I will see you next time on, hopefully the next live stream will be when I'm down there. Love you. Good night.